Playing Misty for me. Welcome everyone to the chat. We'll be right back. So hang out for some promos. Jay said if you get a bitch at him. That was the last story I'd heard.
Welcome to Paranormal Heart Podcast with host.
Welcome to Paratruth.
The Church of Mavis radio show, Friday nights at 8 p.m., 7 Central, starring Jeffrey Pritchett with his co-hosts Wham and Jay McNicholas, right here on the United Paranormal Radio Network, UPRN 107.7 FM, New Orleans.
Hi, and thank you all for joining us today. We are broadcasting live on the United Public Radio Network.
Welcome to Negotiating Happiness, the show that helps you find happiness, success, and balance in your work and life. I'm Adriana Fiestro, your host for this journey into entrepreneurship and personal growth. We're broadcasting live on 107.7 and 105.3 FM in New Orleans as part of the United Public Radio Network. We explore the latest strategies, insights, and stories from successful entrepreneurs and
What's out there? What creates the shadows in the corners or the creatures of the dark? Who are those on the other side? What do they have to say? This is the Gateway Podcast. This is not your normal style of paranormal talk radio. Brought to you live from United Public Radio Network, 107.7 FM New Orleans.
Welcome to the Outer Realm with Michelle DeRoche and Amelia Pisano. Airing live on the United Public Radio Network, 105.3 FM in New Orleans.
to UFO Undercover, Wednesdays at 8 p.m. Eastern, with your host, Joe Montaldo, right here on the Paranormal Radio Network.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
Mutual.
Now playing. See the movie audiences are calling a visual feast in a stunning magical movie.
Y'all having a good time? Hey, all of these artists have one thing in common. We've all ended up on Willie's bus after the show, and me and my buddy Scott Emmerich wrote a song about it. I think y'all can figure it out.
This is for Jay. Oh, wow.
I always heard that his herb was top shelf. Lord, I just could not wait to find out for myself.
Well, don't knock it till you tried it. I've tried it, my friend. I'll never smoke weed with Willie again.
Now we learned a hard lesson in a small Texas town.
He fired up a fat boy and he passed him around.
And the last words I spoke before they took me in.
I may discount bungee jump, but I'll never smoke weed with Willie again. I'll never smoke weed with Willie again. My party's all over before it began. Now you could pour me some old Whiskey River, my friend, but I'll never smoke weed with Willie again. Let's go down to Texas, y'all.
And now we're passing the guitar, telling good jokes.
I could tell one was coming 'cause I'm smelling smoke.
No, I do not partake. I just let it pass by.
With a grin on my face and a great contact high. I'll never smoke weed with Willie again. My party's all over before it began. You could pour me some old Whiskey River, my friend, but I'll never smoke weed with Willie again.
Look at that beat up old guitar.
In the fetal position, with drool on our chin,
we broke down and smoked weed with Willie again.
Somebody was having a good time with that song. Welcome everyone to the chat. I hope y'all haven't been smoking with weed with Willie again. I mean, obviously these big boys, they can't handle it. Oh no!
I get to pick the next song, man. I gotta balance things out with all this hillbilly shit we've been.
Don't make me go hillbilly on you. You won't even like it.
Okay, Destiny. That is Toby Keith that was in the front. He passed away about a year ago.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, from cancer. Yeah, he died. Because we play a lot of his on News and Flip Side. We play a lot of his patriotic stuff. We're doing patriotic.
So I've never gone into country. It's like it's you know it's really for people with no talent that want to be famous, right? I mean, they do country music. You know, it's like it's the easiest shit. It's not like anything real.
See, that's what they say about rock stars. That's what country people say about rock stars.
I like them both. I can't speak for new country, but old country, there's some fantastic artists in old country.
You'll never convince me that they have any talent. I could part and
you-
play the guitar.
If you didn't
and
watch
make more
TV
than
70s, then you
them.
wouldn't have known. No, you had
I'm
to
gonna
watch
do it, man.
Hall. You had
What's
to
that
watch
Jelly
like,
Roll guy? What's that shit all about? Shouldn't he be like locked up somewhere?
Oh, no, he is kind of a bit on the scary side.
I see penitentiary there. I don't know. You know, I don't know, dude. I don't follow it. I can't get into it. There's nothing there for me. It's mass marketing. It's not music anymore. So, you know, it's done. All of it. You know, it's all mass marketing, right? I was a you know, entertainment writer back in the early mid '90s, and that's when everything was really going to crap. It really was.
Yeah.
And they certainly did. And some good bands still came out. I mean, like Pearl Jam, I think is a quality band. You know, and you know they all. I was hanging out with this dude A&R from Relativity Records, you know, and he was feeding me a lot of materials that I was reviewing, and then he was like, "Yeah, we're all going out to Seattle to try to get it." That's when Soundgarden and all those other bands, Nirvana, you know, they all got the grunge. But it was like a fad, you know what I mean? And a lot of those bands really sucked. You know, I wasn't a Nirvana fan. I don't know about you guys, you know, but I like Pearl Jam. I like Soundgarden. I think they're quality bands.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, they're decent bands. I mean, there's a lot of good music out there, but it just depends what
It's
you want.
refiltered though, because they rely heavily on their influences. I just happen to like their influences, like Pink Floyd or whatever, and then they kind of translate it into that, you know. So I think that's not necessarily original, you know. I mean, it's kind of recycled in a weird way, you know. But yeah, it's fun. Depends what you get out of it too. Right?
I don't know. I think that there were some really good, fantastic artists, just musical art. You guys who played instruments really well, like Roy Clark and those guys.
Yeah,
Hee Haw had some really great
Rush.
talent on
Look
the
at
show.
Rush. You go look at Rush, man. 3 dudes. And then
Well, yeah, I saw them 15 times in
music that
concert.
comes
They're
out of that
fantastic. Yeah, they're awesome.
It's unbelievable. And the depth, I mean, you can just sit there and listen to it, and then there's got so much depth to it. Depth, you know, just all of it. The lyrics, the music, everything. But then these other bands are like, you know, buy a Pepsi. And that's their thing. Buy Coke. So, you know, that's really what their thing is. I mean, I don't consider them musicians. I consider them salespeople, really. You know? Prince was an amazing musician. I mean,
he was a very good guitarist. Yes,
one of the best guitarists in the world, probably maybe top.
I'd have to
25,
say he's up in at least the top 10 without question.
But I watch his sessions where he would just jam with other stuff, playing the piano, whatever. He could play anything.
He was a good jazz guitarist too. I mean, he was fantastic.
Exactly. It was fun just watching him jam, and it wasn't for anything that necessarily, you know, just jamming. You know, also like what the hell was that? There's a lot of bands that had those sessions where you could just chill out. You know what I mean? But I don't know. Music is what it is. People like what they like. I can't knock anybody's stuff.
Oh yeah, but then you get some of those standouts. I mean, I've seen Alex Lifeson from Rush live 15, 16 times. I've seen Steve Howe live several times from Yes, and with other bands.
Rush live, man. You know, they never played. They didn't play for a long time.
Towards the end they slowed down on their touring because they knew Neil was sick and wasn't, you know, along for the world, so they kept it tight. The band was, they were all three were tight friends anyway. So
when I was a writer, I had carte blanche backstage anywhere I wanted, and it was like, you know, that's a big thing. It's a huge thing actually. You know what I mean? And then I didn't even have to be reviewing the show to be able to go.
It would have been cool. The only time I went backstage with anybody was, I think you're probably gonna laugh, Weird Al Yankovic. I got to meet him and his band, and he was very strange, very weird, just like he's named. But he was very nice and very cool. Claims he doesn't drink beer, alcohol, or any other kind of drugs. Nothing like that.
So check this
I don't buy it. But his band seemed very nice. And they're like, yeah, we like to drink. I'm like, well, come on down to Jim Collins. And they have instruments on the wall. You can come down and play. And they're like, yeah, we might. They didn't. But
check this out, man. My friend Frank owned a nightclub on Long Island called Sundance, you know. And I'd be hanging out in the afternoons. You know, I'd get off work early, go hang out with him, and then that's when the bands came in to do their sound checks. all the great bands went through there. I mean, you name it, anybody, you know, even like Slayer or Guns N' Roses, whatever, all of them, everybody. The place held 600, but he always put like 3 times as many in, which was a problem. But I'll tell you, I got to meet them all because I was there hanging out, and they're hanging out for the sound check. Like, normally they have no time to talk, you know, just people, like, they're in a rush. But when you're just chilling, and then, you know, and then they have time to kill, like Lemmy from Motorhead, they went through there a lot, and we became kind of friends in a weird way, because every time he came through, I was there, and then we'd hang out. We used to play this Joker poker game together, you know. We got busted going to 7-Eleven, because he was like, oh, yeah, we got this Winnebago outside, dude. Well, I need my cigarettes, man. We go to 7-Eleven. I'm like, yeah, it's up the road, you know. He's like, we can use the Winnebago, dude. Let's go. So I'm in the passenger side. He's driving this Winnebago. We go to fucking 7-Eleven. We're leaving 7-Eleven, going back to the club. We get pulled over, and it turns out the Winnebago belonged to a band called Manowar. And then Manowar was also playing that night. Yeah, it was their fucking Winnebago. And then it was 2 dudes asleep in the back. We didn't even know. You know what I mean? He's like, all right, dude, if you got busted, I'll bail you out, man.
Wow.
That was my Lemmy experience, my one and all. But I would see him once in a while, and then it'd be like, hey, what's up?
Hey, I got lucky like that one time in Jim Collins, but the bar that I hung out at in Savannah when I was in college and living down there. I sat down at the bar directly next to Leon Redbone, he had been a friend of the owner of the bars before he passed away, and he came down to hang out for the evening, and it was cool as shit because he sang a few songs with the guys that played music instruments in the bar. He drank beers, and he has exactly that voice. He sounds exactly like he sounds on TV, like deep bass voice.
That's funny, man.
Yeah.
When, you know, if you hang out in the city, New York City, you know, there's
yeah, but Savannah, Georgia, of all places, you would not expect to meet a great music person like, you know, Leon Redbone.
I hung out with Dennis Rodman, man, for like 3
wow.
hours. Yeah, I was at the China Club with my cousin, and then we're chilling out. He's going to talk to these chicks. I talked to this dude. I didn't know. You know what? I didn't know who he was. I thought he was a rapper or something, man. He had all this, you know, the hardware in his face and he had a lot of tattoos. But he was real cool and really political, man, like really political. So, of course, that jives with me. Man, we talked for hours. And then he's like, well, I got to go, man. Nice meeting you, Michael. And then he takes off. My cousin's like, yo, I can't believe you were this fucking guy for 3 hours. You know who that was? I'm like, yeah, his name is Dennis. He's like, Dennis Rodman. He's like the guy who married himself. He's like the basketball. I was like, I have no idea, man. But he was real super cool. You know what I mean? Yeah, man. I bet if I met him today, he'd remember that conversation. You know that? So, yeah. That's the city, man. You know what? I was lucky to be raised on Long Island and grow up in
New York is a strange place, dude. I've been there a few times. I feel you. I haven't been lucky to meet, you know, celebrities. I haven't been there that long, but you know, I was in school in Connecticut a few times. We were into the city, but just a few hours here and there, not very long at all.
Schools on Long Island, your class trips are Broadway shows. And then when you're young and you experience all that, man, that's a lot of culture.
That would be cool.
It's awesome. I used to love trips into the city. Used to love it, man. You know, even like we'd be jamming in the studio years later.
We had Washington D.C. when I was growing up, and one of the cool things on a trip back from, I forget what museum we went to, but on the way back, we were facing what was at that time, it was called the Car Barn. It was a museum of the electric cars, the street cars that used to run through the streets of D.C. and take people there and here. But anyway, while we were standing there, this guy jumps off of the stairs and rolls down these really steep concrete stairs and bounces all the way down. And you know, the whole school bus is full of kids, and they see this guy falling down the stairs, who starts screaming. And then the guy stands up and starts taking off like shoulder pads and elbow pads and knee pads and starts talking to somebody. And those two somebodies were William Peter Blatty and the director. I forget the director's name, but the guys that were making Exorcist. And he was a stunt man that did the stunt where the priest launches himself down the stairs to kill himself.
It's like in New York City, that's real.
Yeah,
all the time.
We thought it was real at first. You know, there's this guy, he just, you know, casually launches himself down these stairs, and we're like, "Oh my god!"
You get desensitized to stuff.
Yeah.
In the city, man. Where you're like, oh, that's normal. You know what I mean? That's normal stuff.
Yeah. You don't normally see that, but that's Washington D.C. That was the one time I saw something really cool.
I love D.C. D.C. is a great city, man.
It's a neat place, yeah.
Good food, great food, as a matter of fact. I mean,
Just
like,
I don't know about great food, but
No, it's got
maybe
great
okay.
food. You know what? DC.
See, you don't know what great food is.
a
That's the
really cool
problem.
city. It's a big
I wouldn't. Yeah, I wouldn't tag DC as a great place for great food, but I would say it's a great place for great chefs to make great food. There are some great restaurants down.
DC's a fun city. I mean, Smithsonian makes it worth going itself.
The Smithsonian is a really, really cool place.
And there's 3 times we got to go
eaten in great
at the
restaurants
Washington
in DC,
Press
man,
Club,
especially
or
at
2
the
times.
waterfront. DC's got some great food, but people are gonna give you hate mail for saying it doesn't. They do. They do.
Right.
You know. Maybe they're not.
No,
the
so
greatest in the world,
okay, let me explain. You damn rookies. Oh, these rookies that live on this planet with me these days. First off, right off the bat, I'm from New Orleans. No one outside of this city makes great food. Everybody makes adequate food. When you eat what I eat, and then you go travel around the country, you're like, Jesus, and this is what you eat, people. I actually feel for y'all. I'm in New York. I'm eating. God brings me out of state.
Yeah,
I'm
but
like,
Joe,
"What is this?"
if you ask anybody, name a food for a city, they'll say, beignets and jambalaya, Louisiana. They'll
Actually,
say-
no. If you go like, they've already done this. So if you go to the airport and you ask, everybody has a different flavor. That's the difference between New Orleans and everywhere else. So if you're at the airport asking, you'll hear 100, 150 different foods. You go to New York, you might hear 1. You go to Texas, you're going to hear about 3, and they're going to all be meats.
But
just
I
a
don't
different
think
place.
there's not a single food that DC is known for. Like New York is known for pizza, Chicago's known for deep dish pizza.
I don't think there is for
There's
New
not
York.
there's not a dish that DC is really well known for.
I have to agree with you there. I can't think.
I can't.
I mean,
think
it's not that they got horrible food. I
of
mean,
other cities.
I don't want to say they got horrible food
in
because
the city.
that's
I'm
not
not
what it is.
knocking the city. I don't say the city has terrible food. There's wonderful food there,
Especially if you want to pay $60 for a hamburger, man. I mean,
But back in the 70s and 80s, there were some fantastic restaurants down there. I don't know if it's still there. There was a pizza
Hey,
joint.
Stone, how you doing, baby?
Really good. Had a great taco pizza. There's like mom and pop shops all up and down like M Street in Georgetown. Had great food, great little knick-knack shop. Electromax was a cool place. It had the front of the shop was like I forget what that. It's like cassettes and records and stuff. And then the middle part was electronics, and then the back part was a head shop where you could buy water pipes, weed paraphernalia.
Jason did that weird stuff. Jeffrey was telling me about it, man. I was like, Jeff, are you sure? He's like, yeah, dude. I was like, I said, no wonder he got pregnant by an alien. Actually, hold on. I bet you it's me. Hold on a second. Hold on. Let me. Was it still going on?
No.
Because I got my AC running. Because you can probably hear my AC.
I don't hear a buzz.
It's like fucking 30 degrees here.
It's I got my AC running. It's 74 here. It's
you poor devil. It's
no,
Jesse, here tonight.
No, we're gonna take a quick break because the next song we're playing is actually a rock song. It's from a she's a girl. She's a Mississippi girl.
No, I thought I get to play one, man.
No, you got your own show to play music on tonight, man. Damn.
It's only an hour, man. I can't play.
So play a song at the beginning and the end of the damn day, or take a break in the middle. I don't know. We got another break after this.
Next break. Next break, I'm going to play a song.
All right, Ollie. Well, we're taking half-hour breaks in this show because we're getting this show ready to be monetized. So we're changing the layout of this show so it can be commercially monetized.
Some New York City style music.
Hey, as long as it comes with a New York style slice of pizza, I'm in.
Yeah, you know what? I like New York style.
Speaking
of that,
bad pizza in New York.
I'm in Millington, Tennessee. It's what is it, Overton Square or some shit they got down there. And they kept telling me it was like Bourbon Street. I got there. It's like 2 blocks long. But anyway, so we find this underground pizza joint, which kind of reminded me of some places I had eaten in Chicago earlier in my life. And so we get in there, we go down, and the place smells fabulous. I'm like, oh man, it's got to be some really good. Nah, pizza wasn't bad, but the crust, I don't know what the crust was. It tastes like somebody forgot to put a crust on it and just stuffed everything in some cardboard. It was horrible, man. And a couple other places we ate wasn't too great. Now the booze was good, and there was lots of women around, especially because we were in uniform. I don't know what it is with girls and Cracker Jacks, man. I have no idea what that's about. Even today, I don't know what that is. That is weird. Jesse, Cracker Jack. So you don't really see the Cracker Jack box anymore, but if you see the Cracker Jacks, the popcorn Cracker Jacks, there's a guy standing on the front of it. He's in a blue outfit with a white Dixie cap with a hat on.
It's a Navy outfit.
It's a dress outfit for the enlisted people. Yes.
That's a Navy dude, right?
So the front of it, the real ones come with 13 buttons across the panel in the front, with this little tiny bitty pocket that once you put that money in there, because of the way the pants button, you ain't getting it out unless you go get undressed or unbutton your pants anyway. And then the shirt comes with another little itty bitty pocket, just like an ID size pocket up here over your breast and your chest, and that was it. And you could stuff sit in your hat, you know. See, but when I made Lieutenant Junior grade, I got a different kind of uniform. So it was, got salt and peppers is what I got.
Yeah, but there was no surprise when you got those uniforms.
Just black pants, white shirt, and a regular hat instead of a cloth hat. Well, they actually had the version for the enlisted men too, but these I'm talking about a little bit different. These are officers.
I drive forklifts for a living, so my hands get kind of carpal tunnel during the week. So
it's well, I'll tell you what. The other night I was doing something, and I got a shock like right in the bottom of my wrist. My fucking hand, I couldn't even bend it. It was killing me. I got every brace you can think of in the damn house. So
these things are like $18 at Walmart. They're Ace bandages. They're like, and I used to wear one in this hand when I bowled. It kept your hand in the right way to throw a bowling ball. I wasn't great. I mean, I rolled a 150. That's like half of a good game. But still, it's fun. I like bowling. But these things help. They really do.
I was pretty good there for a while, but I had a good teacher too. Bobby Jacks was a professional.
The young man I helped drive out to Arizona last week, a couple weeks ago. He and I was on his bowling team. I actually got to witness him roll a 300 right there live in front of everybody. It was fucking awesome.
It is. I mean, for a pro, it's nothing, but for an everyday person, it's a big accomplishment.
It was during league night, and it was his first 300, and it was a huge. I mean, the whole lane lit up when he rolled his last frame. It was awesome.
Yeah, there's a lot of excitement. What do you mean, Jack? I did a lot of that. I bowled, I played darts, I played pool. Yeah. I was in the pool league. I was in the dart league.
I did pool.
Yeah, I did a lot of it.
I did one pool tournament in Savannah, Georgia. I forget the name of the bar. The bar was on River Street. There were about 30 or 40 people that signed up for it. Everybody had 3 strikes. If you got 3 strikes, you were out of the tournament. I got to the final game with only 1 strike. I had 2 strikes to go against a guy who had no strikes against him, and he beat me. So I came in second place, which didn't suck.
I used to like it, but I really like darts the best out of all of them. I used to have a lot of fun playing.
Darts is fun too.
But I used to I'd play on them twice a week in 2 different leagues, both for money. And then on nightly, there would be tournaments at different. One time I got really big. There was tournaments at almost all the bars. So what we learned a trick. We would come in. My partner and I would come in real late. We shot together on our state team, and we were in platinum division. So we'd been winning pretty steady. So we'd come in late, and they'd always put us together. We'd come in separate but late. And I said, they'd always stick us together. Well, that was a mistake because we shot cricket and 301 together on the team. So we already knew our weaknesses in us. Man, we were murderizing people. It was horrible. We even got, after a while, we kind of felt bad. We had so many excellent trophies between the regular league and all the money we were playing for. It was crazy. And I remember,
But it's so frustrating to play darts. You're probably one of those players that can go up and get to 3 spot every time. I love seeing those, but that like when they beat me, I'm like, damn it, you know.
Well, I remember the first time I got put in my place. I said, all right, I don't go play in a professional tournament, a lot more money. So I won the bullseye tournament. So I was cocky. I would say you got what they gave you, 12 darts, and whoever shot the most bullseyes. So I shot 6, 6, 6, 5, 6, 6, 5. I think I only missed a 6 twice, and nobody even got close. Even the pros, they got kind of close, but not that close. And the guy, so it was like 15 grand, and a couple of little things came with it, a nice set of darts and some other stuff. And I was like, wow. So the guy said, well, you're pretty good. He said, can you shoot the rest of the board that good? I was like, nah. Looked up at it, so I should have hoped so. And so we got up there, and my first set of games, I pushed with the guy, and then I won that. So I managed to stay in for 2 rounds. And then I ran up, I think it's Ricky Ney or Bobby Jackson, whatever. No, Ricky Ney, and I can't think of the other guy's name. Shit. He didn't miss. He didn't miss anything. So he shot.
Like that, yeah.
He opened up triple, triple, triple.
Yep.
Triple, 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 triple. Bullseye game. I mean, there was no. It was whoever started won. It was pretty much how it was going to be.
I played this one guy, and it was almost like you said, but he we were playing cricket, and his first 3 darts, he closed out the first 3 numbers, boom, 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 with triples, bam, bam, bam. I'm like, damn. I was like, that was kind of lucky. He's like, no, it wasn't.
Yeah,
but
that's how you play.
it took him a while to hit the bullseye. So I mean, I didn't really I didn't win the game, but I did get to watch him just struggle to hit that 3rd bullseye.
Well, look, I've come back and won many games because of bullseyes.
I didn't even come close to that, but just the way he just went down the board, boom, 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 and then because he was having struggles with the bullseye, he was saving like the last dart for the bullseye. The others he would score on. Bullseye, score, bullseye, score, bullseye, and then he finally got the bullseye and beat me. But even if I had come up, he would have had 500 points. I would have never caught up to him.
Well, no, that's how it is. I mean, there was a couple different ways we played, depending on who we were playing. But when you played in the pros, you didn't close out 3 numbers. You shot 3 triples. So you shot 1 triple, 20, and then 120 points. Then the other guy would come in, he couldn't do that, so he either had to shoot bullseyes or 19s. When you came in and you just closed 19s and then shot 2 and 18s, and the problem was once you were ahead, unless you missed, they couldn't catch up with you. Yeah. You opened the 20s, and or bullseyes, but at that level, nobody misses bulls. Nobody really misses. See, I learned how to play. I was pretty decent, and when my stepfather taught me how to play, he was a state champion at the time. And I started whooping him fairly regularly. He said, you ought to go play in a league. And I said, cool. And then a friend of ours said, hey, you want to be better than what you are? Let me buy you this dartboard. So I said, okay. It's called the Champion's Choice. So there is no outer ring on the bullseye, just only the red. So there's no outer ring. You have to hit the red to be the bullseye. Then the triples and doubles are cut in half. So the width that the dart can go on is not much bigger than the tip of the dart itself.
Wow. Yeah. So you have to rely on centrifugal force and forcing
so
it into that.
Once you learn how to win consistently on that board, man, you could go. It was so funny because Paul and I'd go out to a club sometimes. He's like, God, Joe, it's like somebody made the bullseye 5 miles wide or something. I mean, because all of our practice for our teams was always on the Champion's Choice board. So when you hit the club, I mean, the triple was as wide as my pinky. It felt like I was shooting. You just really didn't miss. I mean, every now and then you'd bounce a dart, but for the most part, it was pretty steady. And then we knew like our teammates what side of the board they'd like to shoot on. Are they better at double 10s that side, or double 1s or 20s, or what's your strong point, what's your weak point? Believe it or not, the taller you are, the harder it is for you to shoot a great game. Once you get past a certain point of down the distance of the runway, it starts to fuck with the way you throw. John was 7'4", I mean, he barely, he'd almost halfway touch the damn board down there. And he got his ass whooped constantly to make him so mad. So, dude,
Stoney says he likes playing pool. I would like to try this game snooker he's talking about. I don't know if you've heard of it, but I would like to try that. It looks hard. But then he says this, which is awesome. Speaking of small balls, what do you think about alien genitalia and breeding cloning? Birthing pot.
My God, I don't know. I no speaking no English.
No speaking male or female. I thought they were hermaphrodites.
It's no telling what aliens are. Oh shit! Sorry, guys. Got about 5 minutes. We're gonna take a break, but
a lot of probing going on in abductions, but you don't hear about,
you don't hear about not real abductions. When you talk to somebody who probably had some type of real experience, you don't really hear about. You do hear a lot of that from the press, though.
I know a woman that has a relationship going on with a ghost. She says she can prove
I've heard about those before.
A passionate relationship.
And you know, man, if somebody told me that 3 years ago, I said, "Well, that's a crazy bitch." But now they're having relationships with AIs.
Yeah, that's weird.
And making pictures and stuff up of their AI boyfriend or girlfriend. I'm like,
well,
what?
There's people who date their telephone, man. I mean, it's pathetic, really. It's so sad. Because if you want to meet someone, you got to go out and meet them. You're gonna do it on a phone, man, or with a stupid phone. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
You can meet someone in some chat rooms or some, I mean, whatever. But it's not the same as meeting somebody in person. You smell their pheromones, they smell yours. You know, and you're around them. You know,
but yeah, unfortunately, those are things we don't really have. We're not too. We're not like dogs. They do affect us, but it's not like we can go. Oh, you know. But you're right. You have to get the atmosphere of that person. You have to figure out how.
Sniff an ass and get away with
you know,
it
the old what's the old wives' tale? They say no, never marry someone until you see them, completely drunk.
It's Stone. I wonder about the Greys sometimes. What exactly? Because some of them seem to be, when we say this politely, naked. Some seem to be in a ultra skin tight suit.
Yeah.
Well,
they also don't have any external genitalia to begin with, so I mean,
animals, the lizard types.
Well, maybe they're on the inside. Who knows? They just pop out when they're being used.
Well,
perhaps,
like
yeah. I mean, with reptilians, I would expect that because we know reptilians on this planet, that's how their genitalia are. They're
concealed. Wouldn't it be like telekinesis or some type of thing where they can like get into your mind and give you an orgasm? Like, whoa! Like, well, we humans, we have organs that we need to use.
Well, I mean,
there's certain pressure points.
They can turn your brain off. So why couldn't they be able to do other stuff like
but then you gotta find a mate when you're human, and that mate has to be as horny as you.
I got to thinking about this alien stuff and this contact stuff the other day, and I was thinking maybe we should have women contactees every periodically have their eggs count. Because a visitation, because there's no way to know if they're taking them or not. As far as we know, they're building colonies out there with our eggs.
Yeah.
I think aliens want nothing to do with humans ever.
Yeah, we wish.
Don't want, need, nor desire unless they eat us or something.
No, one would think they're using them for either a slave force or a labor force or a cannon fodder.
I can think it better.
No, I mean, if you go by the past, they're using us for labor and sex.
Humans are difficult to begin with. Robots, they just work. You know what I mean? You think these guys couldn't create some kind of biological robots that just work? You know what I mean?
Well, it might have been. It could have been money. It could have been finances. It could have been lack of people to do it, lack of materials, lack of technology.
What do they really need?
We don't know why they were here in the first place, how they got here.
What do you need?
It's going to be like when we get out in the asteroid belt here in about 10 years, 20 years. We'll be mining the asteroid belt. We're not going to always have what we need out there, so we're going to have to make do with shit.
I think it's necessity, man. Maybe they needed plastic, and they needed to make humans to make plastic. Now they got their plastic.
Well, that was kind of a George Carlin joke. That's the reason why the planet invented humans. Is the planet wanted plastics. But I don't think plastics are a result of what the aliens are looking for. It's not what they need. They're looking for something else, something more specific.
Maybe Jay. Maybe they wanted plastics in their humans to flavor them. Because now we all have
or to package their humans to preserve them.
Oh, preserve? Yeah, look at that. You humans are getting eaten. Hey, Sean, what's up, baby? Actually, Sean's coming in right as we're getting ready to go to break. So,
and talking about humans being put in plastic bags for flavor, yeah.
for saving the flavor. Dexter should understand that. Anyway, guys and girls, we got to go. We'll be back, and I don't know. We're not doing promos. We're just doing a song, so about 5 minutes. This is a crazy woman from Mississippi who's going to be singing next year. She's fairly famous these days. But anyway, we're going to turn you over to her, and then we'll be right back.
Waiting at these crossroads forever and a day on a guy to buy my soul. I spend all night and day, how much harder can I play? You know I gave my life to rock and roll. Mama begged me please, yes she got down on her knees, said you'll burn in that Mississippi sun. But I'm the only one that's standing here, so mama don't you have no fear on me, the last tour I've already won. Here I go. Take me down. Take me down. Take me down. Won't you take me down?
Boy, she's very glossy. Yeah. Don't bother me.
Yeah, she's one strange cat for sure.
Standing at the crossroads, I tried a pen in hand. The conversation went like this. Tell me your desire, why you pull me from the fire, and we'll seal the deal with a kiss. So I wanna raise the dead, find a note that I can shred on my walls. I scroll my gods, don't care what happens when I die, as long as I'm alive. All I wanna do is rock, rock, rock. Take me down, take me down, take me down. Won't you take me down? Sign with the devil, sign with the devil, sign with the devil, oh. Sign with the devil, sign with the devil, sign with the devil, oh. Sign with the devil, sign with the devil, sign with the devil, oh. Sign with the devil, sign with the devil, sign with the devil, oh. Take me down, take me down, take me down, won't you take me down, take me down, take me down, take me down, won't you take me down,
Hey, Joe. Joe, you there?
His
It's
mic is
Montaldo.
muted.
Everybody's
What's up,
hiding,
babe?
man.
Yeah, listen, how many crossroads do they have in Mississippi that you make a deal with the devil?
Probably every third one or so. It's a devil state, man. Didn't you know that? Why do you think all these famous? Do you know how many famous preachers came from this state? How many of those evangelists came?
How many
Elvis came from here,
how many
man.
famous preachers from that state got famous and then got not famous or like went to
Well,
jail?
no, so think about this. You had a couple of really big country stars who became really famous, and then of course Elvis came from here, from Tupelo. So there's a few other big ones besides that. There was some really giant ones that came from here, and then there was just it's a blues state, and all that music's kind of bluey, And this chick, her daddy is like ungodly stinking rich, and she just went out and started writing these songs and hit it really big. My stepson turned me on to her about 7 or 8 years ago, and I was like, "Really? This girl ain't going nowhere." And boom, she had 4 or 5 hits right off the bat. And there's her. And then
I
there's
worked at
my,
the company her father owns.
So I mean, yeah. So it's interesting. I guess she was just rebellion, but she's cute. She's got a good voice, and she is singing rock and roll. I mean, real rock and roll. She's not singing.
I mean, she was also
pop
in
music.
Gossip Girl. She was all over Hollywood for a while. She was one of those troubled.
Oh yeah, she was all over. She was all over the place, but she prefers just real rock. If you go on YouTube and listen to all her music, it's pretty much just rock. It's somebody said, "Well, Bon Jovi's rock." Bon Jovi's more like light rock.
Bubblegum music.
Maybe bubblegum rock. I mean, he just isn't
We
right. This
designate
girl,
Bon Jovi as commercial.
this chick is like Metallica light, is
Made
what
to
she is.
sell. It's made to sell a product. It's not anything in depth.
And I'm telling y'all, when I went to the Day of Rock and Roll, and Guns N' Roses was a big band. I forgot his name, was opening singing, pretty famous guy, and then technically Metallica was really the opening band. So Metallica opened up. Metallica just stole the show. Guns N' Roses came on, didn't get near the reception or the applause that Metallica did, and I noticed within 2 months after that concert, Metallica was headlining its own shows. Guns N' Roses had got a new opener, and they were. I mean, but they were quite a bit better. But I mean, I was really into the heavy metal back then. And Guns N' Roses was just kind of wishy-washy. I'm not hating on Axl Rose, whoever sent me that hateful thing. I know he's an abductee, so he has issues, but he was kind of light. He's like pop. My opinion. What do you mean? Who is bubblegum music? Led Zeppelin.
What?
Led Zeppelin was more like acid music. I'm not even saying it was.
That was part of
crazy.
heavy metal, actually. Part of it.
We might have to play Gallows Pole later after
Yeah.
Sean. I mean, Mike gets the next song, but Gallows Pole. Yeah, that's one of Zeppelin songs. Yeah.
They have a lot of great songs. Not
Oh,
just
they got a
Gallows.
lot of good. No, they had a lot of good songs. But the Immigrant song's pretty good. But I like the Immigrant song. Let me see if I can find it. The movie they made, the version they made for the movie is badass. And I'm not dissing the Zeppelin one, but this version is really badass. Let's see if I can find it. And you know what? There's a group out there of girls. I forgot what they're called. Female Zeppelin. I don't know. They are good. They sound a lot like them. They really got their tones down, their music down. I'm quite perfectly honest.
No one will ever play the drums like Bonham.
I know, it's a shame.
Jason is pretty good, though. His son is pretty good.
Oh yeah, he is. Yes.
Yeah, and there's been some really good drummers out there. I mean, there's been some really good guitarists out there. It really depends on where you want to be with your guitarist, though. Drummers, I mean, there's only a handful. Guitarists, that can be more than a handful, but
I was lucky enough to meet Jason Bonham. He had a band called Bonham, and they played through all those middle ground clubs. The clubs. I got to meet so many people just by hanging out in that damn club. It was just a lot of fun. But he was a really nice guy, man. I didn't want to talk to them about bull crap, like, oh, your dad was so great, because everybody says that shit. But I was more thinking, I had just listened to him do a sound check, and man, he was such an amazing drummer. I'm like, wow, he just got power. You know what I mean? Like,
Hey, Mike, who do you think the best drummer out there is? You did articles for music. Who do you think is the best drummer out there?
I don't know, man. It's hard to classify them, but Neil Peart, I think probably as just every direction that you can go. Like I think he went, and he was just so technical, and just like when you listen to that drumming, you're like, wow, it just blows you away. You know, I mean,
You know, how big was that drum set for Rush?
It was
The
huge.
fucking-
250
the size of
pieces.
Ohio.
I mean, the fucking thing was huge.
200 and
He
some
said
pieces.
that,
I get you a count.
I was like, the fuck, man. So you're gonna play that set and you're gonna sing. I don't know how you do that shit.
I've seen some great drummers in my time, man.
There's some good drummers out there.
But I mean, the ones who are just amazing like that. I mean, even Devo. I mean, their drummer was amazing too. Like,
Yeah,
just
what are you
like-
talking about, Curdy?
Like a machine, just. But Neil Peart, man.
It says more
when you
than
listen-
30.
So
listen to him, they can't really play now, Rush, because he's gone. And how do you can't fill it in. You can't do
No,
it.
it's just more than
something
40.
You can't do. It's just something that people
Kirby
don't
says he thinks you're an undercover ELO fan, Michael.
Electric Light Orchestra, man.
An ABBA, ELO and ABBA fan. You better
Love
watch
ABBA.
it. This
Give me
dude's
some
tall,
ABBA.
man.
Some dancing machine. What do they call it?
Dancing Queen, buddy.
What's that ABBA song?
Dancing Queen, that's it.
No.
More
Here.
than that.
His song is Waterloo.
Oh, Lord. I forgot
Waterloo.
about that.
Hey, Mike, can I ask you how you
and
got
Denise, you're thinking of
to
Clark.
Grandmaster Flash?
Yeah, where's Melly Mel, by the way? If you
I had to put distance between myself and the abductee last night. I had to put distance. I took my name out of there. I was like, Dr. Grandmaster Flash.
It's hard to come out like that on radio.
There it is.
TV, man.
Neil Peart's drum kit. Right
Oh
there.
my God, look at that. Man, look at that. I mean, look at that. And he
There's
used
more than
all
40
that.
pieces. This thing right here is called the Mallet Cat. He does the xylophone stuff with it. This throne. It's a lot. I'm going to see if I can count it real quick.
And
here.
he
Let's
used
see.
all of it, is the thing.
He used all of it, yes. One,
Like all
two,
of it.
3, 4, 5. Hold on. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 cowbells. 6, 7,
Give me some more cowbell, man. That's all. I
But
have
what's
to say.
crazy, before he would do a concert, he just had a little setup drum set where he would practice on before he went on them. Can you imagine putting that drum set together?
Yeah, that's a roadie's job there.
Talk to their drum tech, man. I used to know those. I didn't know those guys, but I knew a lot of drum techs. And
45 pieces. 46 pieces.
I knew the drum tech from Motley Crue, and Nikki Sixx had this spinning drum cage. It would spin, during the show. They would tumble it. And they had to put that together at every show, man. Break it down. Sometimes break it down, move it in one night, and put it together in the next city. So yeah, they had a tough job right there.
Well, you saw Neil's set up there. They had to actually physically crane him in from the top and drop him on top of his drum kit because you couldn't get into it any other way.
I love her. I love you, Stone.
Yeah, he was amazing. He was just an amazing drummer. I've heard of sessions of just him doing his thing and just incredible. But yeah, John Bonham. You can't go wrong with John Bonham. I mean,
My cat ate the rubber head off of it, but this is what's called a tongue drum.
Tongue drum?
A tongue drum, like tongue drum.
Okay. I don't know. I just like the drummers, man. I like the way they.
Who's your favorite, Sean? Who's your favorite drummer?
Bonham.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was crazy too, so that was even added to it. He was cool.
My favorite is Bill Bruford, and then followed quickly by Neil Peart.
The Who had a great drummer too, though. I mean,
Yes, Keith Moon was very good.
yeah, he was no slouch. Funny guy, too, no slouch. The Who just
Their
fell
bass player,
apart. They were such a
John
great band.
Entwistle,
They
was
really
pretty
were.
good as well.
and then when the '80s happened, they fell apart. You know.
Yeah.
Then Peter Townsend getting busted for all that child porn. Then he had to like register a sex offender for a bunch of years. But like in the UK, I think that only lasts maybe 10 or 15 years, and then they stop. But he was a weird bird.
It's still a bad mark against you, no matter who you are.
Yeah, they were a great band though. Like
Let me ask you guys this question: do you think grunge music stopped the big hair music?
It transitioned, because you always had those. I classify it as the girls that come to the show. When the big hair, if it was, remember Winger, Batman Winger, like all those bands like that, they were the hair bands, and then the girls would come wearing lingerie to the show, literally, like they're paying to get in. They dressed like it was a spectacle because it was weird, and it wasn't like that for other bands, like regular, AC/DC. You didn't see that type of stuff, but the hair bands. So, and we used to joke around, don't go into the bathroom and light a match with all these hair people in there.
The hair product looks flame, yeah.
Yeah, man. You'll blow the place up. But I met a lot of these guys. They're cool. I met Kip Winger. He was cool. I think he died. Didn't he die? Kip Winger, didn't I hear that he passed away? But you know what's interesting? I met a lot of Long Island bands too, and I was friends with a lot of them, and New York City and whatever, just local bands. They were great too. They were amazing. And sometimes they were even better than the headline acts that were coming.
All of my friends who were in bands in Savannah when I was in college, there, all of the bands they were in, and all of my friends were in multiple bands, 2 and 3 bands each. Some of them, and still are. They were fantastic. Famous. They were great. They were awesome bands. They were fantastic. It was better nightlife than they had in Washington D.C., where I grew up.
That's for you, Joe.
Oh, thanks, Tony.
Yeah, we were all real friendly with Steve Vai and Joe Satriani because they came. Joe Satriani gave guitar lessons.
Oh, well, guess who Stevie Vai is playing with right now? One of my favorite bands, ex-lead guitarist Adrian Belew, and I think he's got Tony Levin with him. So that's half of the '80s lineup of King Crimson. Steve Vai and one other guy. I don't know who's playing drums, but
yeah, I haven't seen him since the '90s, man.
Well, they're going around touring right now. I think they're going to hit New York. I don't know if they're hitting DC yet, but they're doing the 1980s lineup of music from King Crimson.
But
so like three albums worth of
guitar
music.
lessons at Corette Music in East Meadow. So my friends who owned a rehearsal studio above there, that was their parents that owned their music. So then you got Joe Satriani giving lessons. Steve Vai comes in to get lessons, and then all this is happening. Well, that's really just cool. You know what I mean? Like, because these guys are so talented, man.
Hey, Leah.
Hello.
Hey, there you are. Long time no see.
Yeah, there you go.
We thought the Ubers got you, man. We thought you got the alien Ubered. Why don't aliens just order up an Uber if they want to probe people? Just saying. Like, isn't that easy? I need an Uber. I need an Uber.
That's gonna be the new memory triggers. It won't be lost time anymore or particular everyday memory. It's gonna be I took an Uber. Wait, I don't use Uber.
Remember anything.
Yeah, I took an Uber and I don't remember anything. What the hell?
As long as they pay you, that's what I'm saying.
No, you see, you're going to get in your self-driving car. It's going to take you to whatever place to be probed.
You're going to
tip.
And you're going to pay for it. That's how it's going to work. Come on, this is our
world. It's all about the
About.
tips. Tax-free tips. God damn it.
It's going to be.
It's some kind of money marketing scheme on the behalf of the aliens, and we're part of it.
Man, you're going to get picked up by one of them self-driving taxis. They're going to take you on board, probe you. Then the taxi riding around for an hour.
The chickens
you're going to wake up to a $200 bill.
Us.
Yeah,
I bet the
more than likely.
Say the same shit. The chickens are like those humans, you know. Like that. They feed us. They're nice to us. And then all of a sudden, Bob is gone. Where's Bob? I haven't seen Bob. You know, all of a sudden, Carl's gone. Where's Carl? I haven't seen Carl.
I think Mississippi just killed like 5 million chickens the other day.
Listen, new chickens come along and they tell the Lord, you better watch out. You'll disappear. Don't come to that house. Hey, man, my friend Pete and I are going to start doing investigations again. And there's a road like maybe 20 minutes away from here. The whole road has got all kinds of crazy stuff going on. So we're gonna live broadcast, man. We're gonna do something on that road. There's a lot of people telling stories, a lot of murder, mayhem, ghosts, goblins up here. The whole road, you know, it's called Death Valley Road. They actually named it Death Valley Road. Isn't that funny?
Well,
Upstate New York.
There's a cemetery out on Route 50 here. It's called Shades of Death.
Yeah.
Shades of Death Cemetery on Shades of Death Road.
Wow.
This road's got some pinpoint turns, so a lot of people died, I guess, you know, driving on it and whatever, and they missed the turn and boom.
Well,
and then there was like all these rituals. A lot of witches lived out there doing rituals and that type of stuff because it's kind of big country, believe it or not. It's not like some little area, you know. It's
we were actually talking about last night that, you know, if the aliens were able to, like, you know, the what did you call them, the cleanup crew, if they were able to come in and take care of all the you know, cemeteries and dead bodies on the earth, how much real estate would we recover? How much more land would we be able to build on?
Yeah.
Be a lot. It'd definitely be a lot.
Especially look at New York City, man. The cemeteries and all Queens and whatever.
There's a huge cemetery like 4, 5, 6 blocks behind my house here. It's on a hill, but it's, you know, it's a lot of property.
There's a lot of land out there.
Yeah.
But then who wants to live there? You know, that's how Poltergeist happened. Remember that movie?
Oh, no.
Yeah.
They built on top of a cemetery, and all of a sudden, in the movie, they used real skeletons and all this real stuff. And of course,
yeah, but I think the real inspiration for that story was that it was an Indian burial site that they.
Yeah, but they all had some horrible thing happen to them. The actors, I'm saying, some of them died. Some terrible things happened to them.
There's weird things going on.
You can't mess with stuff. Our shows are kind of based in don't mess with things. If you mess with things, these things will happen or could happen. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So you don't provoke and you don't mess.
As long as they're not dying to get out, Stoney, that's okay.
Yeah.
As long as they're not getting out, we don't care.
That, Stone.
If you live next to a cemetery, man, your neighbors are quiet. You know what I mean? But it's a cemetery if you want to live on top of one. I wouldn't mind. I almost bought a car from a guy that committed suicide in the car. And I was kind of like, you know, the car is still good. You know what I mean? It's not a terrible thing. I'm not going to worry about it. You know? The guy decided to end his life. And it was a deal. Somebody else snatched it up.
Well, you know what? There's down in Brownsville, PA, there is a Carnegie Library that they built. And what they did was the only place they could actually build this library was in the area where the cemetery was. And so they moved all the bodies from that cemetery down the road. And that's the most haunted library in this area where I'm at.
See, in New Orleans, it's the opposite because usually the bodies float away. A couple of floods come, and then I remember as a kid seeing like all these coffins, like a log jam of coffins. What the hell's going on, man?
Floating down the street, man.
Talk about having a bad day seeing that, right? As a kid, you know.
Just floating down the street. It's kind of weird how that works. That's why we got all those above ground cemeteries. Those cities
My
of
mom
the
used
dead.
to watch Star Trek when I was a little kid, and I remember seeing like that alien. The ending credits is like this big headed alien, like right there at the end. You know, when he's making his face. That's like if you're a kid, that's scary looking at an alien, man. You know what I mean?
Well,
I was just watching some of the old Star Trek show before I came down here.
Let me ask you this, Joe. The cemeteries down, I know they're buried above ground, but is there a lot of thievery on those graves?
Oh, so that's a big sore point down here. Over the last 200 years, they put all this artwork out there. They put all this marble and granite. They build all these statues. So it's a lot of money. So an average one. So if you go to like Cemetery 1, the average plot there is going to probably run $500,000. So what happened is all of a sudden, like little chariots and cherubs, whatever you call them, little demons, little things that they just had all spread around throughout the grounds just started disappearing. And these people were selling these things for $10,000, $20,000. So they would get whatever the value of it would be if it was just an object found, but then they would add the value that it came from a New Orleans cemetery. And then they would. This guy was selling these things openly, outright. This was before the days of eBay and shit. He's just selling them out, putting them in the newspaper and stuff. So one day the cops pulled in his front yard. He must have had 300 artifacts just sitting out in his yard inside his fence. They estimated it somewhere around $25 million. And they just hauled his ass off to jail because they didn't even know what cemeteries it came from. So there's a bunch of above ground cemeteries, and they were arguing about it. Of course, there's the two where Marie Laveau is supposed to be married, but we all know the truth. She's buried in the swamp at her house in the swamp, which is still there, by the way.
Hey, Joe, Stoney sent you a Facebook message, I think.
Who? Sent
you,
Hey, Leah, Stoney says hello.
Who's that?
My friend from New Zealand.
Stoney.
Hello.
Oh, yeah. Oh, we look pretty good on Rumble, man. I was just checking this out on Rumble.
Oh, God. I'm going to turn my camera off.
I can't even see you. Well, I can see like a
I know it's
half
too
of
dark
an
in
eye.
here.
No, your head's like a block away from your camera, doofus. You got to be like this, you know. Oh, wait, I can't see myself. Oh, I'm on time delay. I'm watching this on Rumble. I didn't see my hands moving. Hey, what's going on here? That was just goofiness there. Oh, but now I'm back over here where we can see. So what, Jackie, what you want to talk about?
It's open mic night, so it's whatever.
What city? I mean, what are you talking about? Oh, you mean, I don't know, my favorite city? You mean any of our favorite cities in the world? I don't know. I don't know. I've been to a lot of cities.
My favorite city in the whole wide world would be Savannah, Georgia.
Savannah's a nice city. I've been there.
Savannah's very cool.
It's got a lot of big pluses.
Honestly, mine would be Gettysburg.
Gettysburg's a very cool place. I've been to both. I've been to Gettysburg and Savannahburg.
I mean,
too.
Well, there's also a cool thing about Savannah has a fort, and it's a southern fort from the Civil War, and up here near Gettysburg they have Civil War forts from that same era for the North. So it's a neat thing to contrast the two forts. They're built exactly the same, to be honest with you.
I think Antietam is on Route 15.
Yeah, it's right around the corner from here.
Right above that, you got Gettysburg. That area is so beautiful. When I go 15 or 30 into Gettysburg, I'm telling you, it's like the first monument I see or the first statue I see, it's like I'm home. You know, like I'm home.
I'm right in between both battlefields. Antietam is in Maryland a little bit. I think it's that way behind me, and then Gettysburg is up that way.
Mm-hmm.
Like 30 minutes for either direction.
Oh, don't worry. When I go out there, we're going to go out and eat, Jay. Don't worry.
My favorite city is Syracuse, New York, man. And I'll
tell you, now when I'm up there, somebody had to buy me a steak.
It's also a cool place.
I'll tell you why. It's got the most polluted lake in the United States of America, and that's something to be proud of. You know what I mean?
Wait, where is it?
Something.
Syracuse, New York, upstate New
Oh,
York.
you sure it ain't California? I'm just questioning that.
No, it's Syracuse.
Now, when I get my ass up to Gettysburg, somebody got to buy me a steak, man. I'm not a cheap date now.
Old people like
I'm just
it.
saying, I ain't a
You got a
cheap
good
date.
hospital. They're like, really? They listen to you. Like, really?
What? Oh, excuse me. No, Stephanie, that's a no. You gonna buy me steak, baby? Thank you. So you're a sweetheart.
Now I would pick New York City as my favorite city still because it's got the best of everything. You can't go wrong. It's got a lot of action.
Well, in New York doesn't ever seem to turn off, and so you can get anything that you need anytime,
Yeah, but
almost any day of the week.
so, yeah, you have to look at New York
Sometimes
differently.
legally.
New York is like so. So New York is like the little wind-up toy on your desk that's starting to wind down, whereas Florida is the one on that is being wound up. No, I mean already Florida's already bigger than.
But
But it's
New York
well, no.
will
So
be-
you know, from whatchamacallit down, it's considered New Jersey. It's New Jersey, New York. That's what they call it. It's right above Boca Raton, all the way down to the Keys until you get to the Keys, and the Keys is different.
We can't expect
They consider that
Southern
New
boys
Jersey.
to understand what's going on up here in the north.
All the rest of the states still considered Southern.
But New York is New York. And New York is
It-
New York.
it-
That's all I gotta
it's
say.
okay, but
so
it's
good
like
they named
LA.
it
It's just on
twice,
its way
goddamn
out.
it. New York, New York.
Well, would you consider Jacksonville a north? You know, not a. It's in Florida, but it's like way up north. In
It's
Florida.
a nice city. I've been to it.
Oh, I was stationed there. I was stationed there.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
right
it's only,
below
it's only an hour
Georgia.
from Savannah.
Yeah,
It's
I mean,
got
it's
a lot
right
of
there below
crime,
Georgia.
Jacksonville. It's challenged, you know.
Yeah, but the town next to it, which is the oldest town in the United States, doesn't.
St.
St. Augustine.
St. Augustine's awesome.
You know, that's a good haunted city too. And then, of course,
Yes.
you get the creeps when you're walking through it because they got all those old style roads where everything's squished together. So
Yeah,
that
and
if
there's
the
Spanish
creeps come
moss on the
through-
trees, so it gives it extra creep feeling. So I mean, yeah,
Savannah,
that whole
Georgia,
area is
man,
very
you
cool.
got- You want ghosts?
Well, there's
And we had a
another-
couple-
There's ghosts everywhere, but there's some cool stories there at least too.
Yeah.
There's another creepy town here in Pennsylvania out east. It's called Jim Thorpe.
I know Jim Thorpe. It's a cute town, man. People like to go there. They're flocking there. You can't even book a room in the fall because it's just so beautiful around there, you know. But
Yeah, it is beautiful, but it reminds you of being in England back in.
you know, Poconos
the 1600s.
is a very weird,
Yeah, that's a good place,
interesting
I guess,
place. You know, it's got a lot of older resorts that have that old feeling and smell. If you like that type of mold type of smell, it's got, I don't know. You can find something for everybody in the Poconos, and then they overly built like these inside water parks and things like that. So you got that jammed in there, you know. So it's a big deal for families of that level that want that type of thing. But Poconos is cool. The mountains are beautiful, if you want to call them mountains.
Oh,
I don't call them
Pennsylvania's
mountains. Ever
beautiful,
since going
man.
to Colorado, I don't call them mountains anymore because I got to see what
You
mountains
know,
really look like.
since we're talking about PA here, I never hear anybody but y'all ever say it's beautiful. I've never been, so I can't say. I can't criticize.
The endless mountain region is
It's
beautiful, you
gorgeous.
know. I mean, you know what's
Pennsylvania
nice?
is
Gettysburg
gorgeous.
is a beautiful
All the
area.
tourists always say it's ugly.
In Gettysburg, the
What
rolling
now?
hills and all that. It's
Said
really
all the
cool.
tourists always say it's ugly.
They're full
Got
of
the
shit.
Susquehanna that snakes its way through.
That's
you
a
know?
cool river, man. The Susquehanna. Down in West Virginia, you got the what the hell? We got the Potomac and the Susquehanna meeting at what's the name of that town down there? It was in the Civil War. Jim Brown. He's the one that held the Federal Army arrested him down there or killed him down there. What the hell's the name of that little town?
They call it Cocksuckerville.
Yeah.
Pennsylvania's
Yeah,
got some very
yeah,
interesting.
I've been there like
they got
3 or 4.
Intercourse, Pennsylvania. Have you been there?
Yeah, there's a place called that. Yes.
Isn't that Amish though? Isn't that all Amish? Not that
When
way.
you're cruising PA roads, you're gonna see some city names, man. You know, but you got Hershey's in Pennsylvania, man. Gotta love Hershey's. You know what I mean? I don't
Yeah,
know.
well, only when I can't get Amelia to send me chocolate.
Pennsylvania lost its character. The Dutch Pennsylvania's gone. They've been beaten out. You know, I tried to retrace my steps through Lancaster and all that. It's gone. It's gone. It's been replaced by some Indian hotel or Wendy's, or it's gone. I mean, you know, some of the places like Dutch Playland is still there, that type of thing. But I'm saying like the ethnicity, that German ethnicity. It's even hard to find an Oktoberfest in Pennsylvania. There's some
that's
places
sad,
that do
man.
an Oktoberfest, but they're not German in nature, you know. So
I
you
thought
got to
y'all
go
was
all
supposed
the
to
way
be
to
German,
Berlin,
man. What's going
Berlin,
on now?
Ohio. Berlin, Ohio.
don't know,
because
dude.
that's where that big German Mennonite
So,
population.
I tell you
is.
something. Hey, if you really want to experience something German, they got a town in Georgia. It's just like a town out of the. Actually, it would probably be right out of the Alps or something. It's a Christmas town. It's all done in German style. The whole town. It's like that year round. But it's especially It's just set up like a German Christmas thing. It's
All I
really
want
cool.
is a pretzel. I don't drink beer.
They got
I'm
good
just going-
pretzels.
all I want is go in and get a pretzel. And
There's a
leave.
couple of places that have good Oktoberfest, man. You just got to get out there and look them up.
In Pennsylvania?
I don't know.
Yeah,
It's
I'm sure there is.
Places
I know. I
Listen,
know.
If
I
you want a good, if you want a
Gettysburg.
good pretzel, right across the street from me, or actually like four blocks up from me, is Rough Edges Brewery, and they have a stuffed pretzel with Maryland lump crab, and it's like this long, and it's
Oh my God, they're good.
huge. It's huge.
Places change, man. Places change. And like Long Island, I grew up in.
They're weird.
It's
What
not
can
the
I tell
same
you?
as the Long Island now. There ain't no going
No,
back.
they're on drugs.
I can reminisce and whatever, but there's no going
No,
back.
we're not on
But
drugs. Whoever that was.
They're
No,
on
we're
drugs,
talking
man.
about food. You go to
They're
O'Rourke's in
drugs.
Gettysburg. They have one of them pretzel stuff
You
with
know,
crab.
so Janine,
Ooh,
just so you know,
crap.
if you live above the Mason-Dixon line, you have dame damage. Okay, the air's
What?
thinner up there. It does something to them. It makes them
Bavarian pretzel with
dame
beer
damage.
cheese,
You got
man.
dame damage.
Beer
if you live above
cheese,
Mason-Dixon line.
Bavarian pretzel.
Oh,
It's the thin
You know,
air,
give
man.
me-
It's the
and
thin
give me some
air. It's the
jalapenos,
cold and the thin air.
maybe a
man.
habanero to chop up a little bit over here.
That's why Canadians are
It's the
so weird.
road salt.
Yeah, he's sniffing them road salts too. That's true. I didn't think about that. Damn.
We ran
See-
out of road salt around
Yeah,
here.
yeah,
because
yeah. I
the
got
towns-
thin
the
air
towns
road
didn't feel like
salts.
they
Oh
needed to
man.
buy it, so then people drive around the ice. It's just so nice, huh?
Yeah, it's
Mwah! It's that service,
They
you
use-
know.
They
It ain't
use
gonna
chemicals
be
now.
cold
They
this
don't really
year.
use that much salt. They don't
And
really
then,
use
and
that
then they
much salt.
choose
They
not
use
to buy the
chemicals.
cheapest crap that
It's
there
weird.
is,
It depends on what
which is
state you're in.
salt.
'Cause a lot of states, all you can use is salt. They won't let you use
Pile it
salt.
Salt
on
is the
thick
cheapest
here.
crap that there is, and they chose not to buy it.
Yeah, because
They got-
Illinois
they got
gets their salt
warehouses
from us.
full of it.
They don't,
Yeah, we have
we
to-
have
we have
two,
to
we
salt
have
it.
two
It's
salt
disgusting.
mines, Cargill salt mines, two locally.
Oh man.
You know what I mean? It was the towns that chose not to buy the salt. So whatever. That's what you get. The local government. That's what you get. They're always in the pocket of somebody else.
So
They're
now you need
terrible at
defending
running
them
stuff.
stinking Canadians.
It's what you get.
What's that, Jimmy? No, I love Canadians. It's just they're a little weird right now. That's-
Might be
Yeah.
part of the U.S. soon.
Yeah,
Canadian.
so that, yeah, that now
That's
they're
a
going to
good
be
question.
51st
Do you
state.
think that will happen? Do you think that will happen?
I don't know what's
Yeah.
happening.
No, I don't. It would depend. It would take some things first to happen. There would have to be a much worse financial breakdown, and secondly, Canada would have to be at some kind of threat, maybe from China or Russia. Then the U.S. would annex them. They wouldn't even make them a state; they would annex them. Is what we did to Puerto Rico. Would make them a Commonwealth. That way, they can vote and participate and pay taxes, but they can't vote for the presidency.
I like Canadians. I have no problem with this. You know.
It's
I don't know. The ones up in Toronto, they're. I went up to a Penguin game, Pittsburgh Penguin Toronto Maple Leaf game, and they were kind of rude up here in Toronto.
Well, Canadians all over are rude right now because they're pissed at America. Because of,
Oh, dude, this is back in the 80s.
no, yeah, you got your snotty ones, just like you have anything else. It's
That's
one
like
of the things
40
that got
years ago.
Europe in trouble with. Well, that's one of the things that got Europe in trouble with us, and one of the
That's
reasons.
40 years ago, dude.
So,
You might want to do a revisit.
look,
Four,
you-
4 decades ago, they were nasty. so
Nah.
screw them.
they pretty much they've earned their snotty.
I'm
snotty
like that
thing.
with Texas, man. I got harassed driving through in 1990. And I'm
You
like,
didn't
I'm
go to
never
jail,
going back.
have it.
Screw them.
I'll tell you what, though, check
I
this
like
out.
that states. Let me tell you,
When we went up there for that Penguin game, I was married, so my wife and I bought a pitcher of beer, and we got 2 glasses. They actually charged us for the glasses too, and that pitcher of beer cost us like $23.
Oh my God.
Wow.
I've been
Yes.
willing to lick it with me, buddy. I said they ain't gonna have this going on. Yeah, I mean they you know, it's a ripoff. And just think how much more our money's worth than theirs is. Look how much more they got to pay for that freaking thing that you have to pay for. It's you know, Michelle and we talk about it all the time because our money's worth more than theirs is.
I've only been to Canada once for the Toronto Film Festival, and then got to meet George Romero and Tom Savini and people.
Technically,
why didn't you come down to Pittsburgh, Mike? You should have done that.
I'm in Pittsburgh.
he said he's scared of them girls in
There's an
Pittsburgh.
awesome biscotti place right on the river there, man. You know, like a real nice bakery, like amazing. I was blown away. 'Cause I like food, so I look for food, man. I go to places, turn me on to a nice burger or something, I'm happy.
You ever been to Permanis when you were down here?
Permanis, I don't think so.
Okay, what it is a sandwich place, but what they're favorite for is they put coleslaw and French fries on their sandwich.
That's cool.
There must be somebody from the South.
You travel across the country, you move around, and there's so many. Chains are always the same, but the mom and pop, they got the flavor. It's always nice having something like that, especially when people rate it highly.
You just got to find the good ones. That's all.
Yeah, you want
best
people
place
to
to eat
rave
at diners,
about
man.
the place. You get like that's the cool thing about reviews. You can look at reviews.
But see, down here now, there used to be mom and pop restaurants everywhere, but then the casinos came in, and then all these other midline restaurants came in, So now you got what I like to call a lot of middle class food going around. It's all decent food. It's not great.
Middle class food. Are you talking like
What it
Olive
is.
Garden and
Well, yeah, I guess you could. Olive Garden's a little lower than what I was talking about, but close enough. I mean, it's like them steak restaurants and stuff like that pop up all over.
Texas Roadhouse?
Yeah, all of them, and
man,
Outback, a whole bunch of them.
That's like eating fancy around here.
It comes down to a formula with restaurants. You want to go to restaurants that use about 35% of the price goes to ingredients. They're the honest restaurants, When they start cutting down on that money for ingredients and using cheaper stuff, that's when you start getting, crappier items, man. Think about.
I tell you what, man, one of the seafood companies and two of the restaurants got in big trouble down here because they were putting fish and stuff on their menus. They said that was local caught, and it was from China. They got two of them got jail time. Yeah, two of them got jail time. All the rest of them, serious fines. Yeah, but they take that shit serious around here. You say it's local, it better be damn sure it's local, or else somebody's in trouble. Because there's a big difference in flavor. That's what got him in trouble in the first place. The lady who made the initial investigation, who hired, and other people came in, they were saying it was a lack of flavor. Gulf seafood has a distinctive flavor. I mean, especially if you've been eating it all your life.
Marinated in crude oil, it's got that kind of.
That's marinated in salt,
flavor.
man. It's marinated in heavy salt to it.
Oh my God!
You can take a bite out of that. This ain't oily. This tastes like some
Marinated
Chinese
in
shit.
toilet water.
Some China.
It's, the Gulf.
China
One thing nice
fish.
about the Gulf, it's very, very clean. It's very, very deep.
Oh my God! There's a giant possum out there eating seeds, man. This place is like a zoo. I call it the Angley Ranch.
The Dr. Grandmaster Flash Ranch.
I
Some
know.
woodpecker pecking at the damn door.
It's Grandmaster's petting zoo. That's what it is. It's no, Jackie. We get ready to go to break in a few minutes. Why? What you got?
Oh, we're going to break. I got to bring that song up.
Who's your mama? Who's your mama? You like the song? Who's your mama?
Yeah, finally Mike's answer to your first song, Joe.
Play the Aphex Twin Who's Your Daddy song. For
Oh
break.
my God! No telling what he's gonna play because we played something weird at the beginning of the show. And we just played pretty reckless. You could get it's I don't know. Mike's gonna play something weird. I can see it coming.
I'm ready, man.
Somebody the other day got banned from playing music. I forgot who it was now. So they're lucky.
I think it was Sean.
Oh, wait, what, Sean? See, you see, Jay ratted you out, man. Look at that.
No, man. Hey,
Ratted you down the road.
hey, I'm your
I
mid
completely
dad.
forgot.
I'm not
I'm
the
your
one who's
mid
Andrew.
dad.
You have to talk to Joe on that one.
I'm your mid dad. Come on.
I know, here's your mid there, man. Come on. Come on.
What the hell?
I just sold you down the river, man. Whoa, sold you. What? Come here, you
Mike,
can't come here.
I
You wanna
can't
be
wait
a
to
man,
hear
that's
Mike's
all.
song. I can't wait to hear Michael's song.
Get up here at your dad. Yeah, there we go. Okay, this
Oh,
is
look at
Princess
that.
Fiona.
Wow.
This is Princess Fiona. She is coming here to. Hey, get that bad breath out of my face. What you doing? You come to rule the roost, huh? If her sister finds out to hear this, will be hell to pay. You know what her favorite thing is? It's the Kit Kats. Whiskey cat. Whiskey cat.
Look at her.
Look at
Look at her.
Oh, what's the Kit Kat?
Oh,
Kit Kat. Go get it. Go get that Kit Kat. Here comes his sister out the front. Oh, it's cute. Where's Kit Kat? I know. Dude, so stupid me the other night. I'm playing with him on a porch, telling him that right here comes the Kit Kat. So the Kit Kat is lurking across the other field, just lurking, low down the ground and get just doing the cat thing. And my dog is just looking at it like, bitch, don't think I don't see you. And the cat's like, I think she sees me. The cat kind of turned to the left a little bit. Over there. Oh, I was laughing so hard. I was like,
all right, Stoney, I'll see you, buddy. Thank
he's
you.
loving life, Stone.
Stone.
And or in my language, LL&L, love, light, and laughter.
Yeah, that's the funny thing about cats, though. Whether they're stalking or creeping along trying to catch something, if they can't see your eyeballs, they think that you're invisible to them. That you can't see them.
Leah, close your ears. You can't hear this. So I'm working on this new thing for abortion and men's rights.
Oh, wow.
We're probably going to wait till I get back before we debut it on the network. I'll get all y'all's opinion on it. But it's definitely a change in the way of looking at it. And I've been looking for an in ever since I got involved with that group in California for young men's rights. It's they just saying that young black men and young white men are getting shit on all over the place. So they said, would you get involved and help them out? I'm like, help them out doing what? Raping, robbing, and pillaging? Nah, I don't think that's going to happen. It's but anyway, NBC, I had originally published this with NBC, and NBC wrote me back and said they'd like to be part of it or get involved in it, but I didn't keep the original published. I didn't keep it. It was just, how you get, sometimes you get in the mood, you just bang something out real quick, and that's what I did. So. But fortunately, I did kind of write it down because I thought I might use it again in the future. But we'll talk about it one night. We'll probably break it out on this show because it's more controversial. Jeffrey, oh, you playing the song? Play the damn thing, Grandmaster. We waiting on you, my friend.
All right, ready, man.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're taking a break. Mike's in charge until we get back.
Brooklyn, right there.
Yeah. Go Brooklyn, baby. Woo woo, yaha.
Bedford, the Bedford line. Hear that?
This is like my guy.
These are the guys right here.
What the fuck is that?
Calm down.
I didn't know King Shark could play a sax. There it is.
What? I'm very like this. Smoking like
People run. People of Earth run.
Only in New York.
That's one of the fun things about the city. You never know what's going to happen.
I think it's cool.
dude or chick.
that he's trying to make a.
Yay.
What do you think of that,
Yay.
man?
Check, please.
Yea, there, walk through the valley of darkness, I fear
They
no
were just
evil.
a band that used to play in the subways, man.
Wow.
Leah said if you ever do that again, you're going to have a suicidal woman on your hands.
Dude,
How did you read my mind?
Too, man, come on. Y'all complain about the stuff I play, and these two guys played one song each, and it's just like, whoa.
Hey, look, I played Willie Don't Ever Smoke Weed with Willie again. That's an iconic
That was
song.
funny. I thought it was actually entertaining.
No, it was. It was. I like
That
the
must
drummer.
just be a wet blanket.
Hey,
A what?
well, you don't smoke weed anymore, so.
You gotta be able to process the music on that level, man.
What is that, Jesse? Jesse.
In their
Come on,
defense,
music
Michael,
out.
that was impressive to do that in all-in-one video take without like breaking it up or any video cuts. That was one take. That was pretty brilliant.
Jesse Fire of a Woman's Wrath said, "Shut the fuck up, you bunch of fucking morons." Maybe I'll find some good in a little while. But right now we back, so we ain't finding nothing good. So you got
Yeah,
to
you
wait.
should look up Leo P. That's the guy with the saxophone, but Too Many Zoos is his band, but he's got another one too. But amazing players, man. They really are.
No, y'all can post whatever topic you want. You can come in the rooms with us and post it. I noticed I haven't seen Rumble posting it here though, even though I see people on Rumble
That's why it says
chatting.
down there at the bottom of the screen, open mic. Tell us your questions. We can answer them for you.
Because I see people saying stuff on Rumble because I'm actually got the Rumbles open while we're talking. But anyway, it's kind of weird.
Can you, if you're looking at Rumble now, can you see the banner where it says what it's open mic, scrolling across the bottom? Is it visible? Should we move it to the top?
Hold on,
That's what it says. Open mic, listeners, topics, all night.
Yes, you can see it scrolling on there.
Welcome, all topics.
And there's people in there watching
JFK,
right
Middle
now.
East,
People making.
Ukraine versus Russia, etc.
You know what?
You're out rumbling all of this. Didn't throw us out a question or two. We can see
Well,
that
you
here.
know what, Jay? Here's the way I look at it. And from having the podcast for a while, people are afraid to ask a question. They really are. That's what I'm thinking. They're afraid to ask.
Yeah, that
I don't
could
know.
be.
It depends on what's going on. Because I get a lot of questions in some shows not so much.
But it's open. It doesn't have to be an embarrassing topic. It can be anything. You can talk about your favorite sports team if you want. Who cares? Ask us a question.
Hey,
Oh.
really.
I like any team that wins.
What are you doing to your dog, Joe?
Oh, listen.
The dog is flipping out.
They're going to be drilled.
My drill is downstairs, Joe. But when I do need to make a really big hole, I use the old Stormtrooper blaster. They work pretty good.
Behave, girls.
Here we
People
go.
start whipping out their toys.
Yes,
man.
die, you Earthscum bastards, die.
Yeah, these things are pretty
I don't have any
decent.
toys to
Not
go
very
with
accurate,
this,
but
man. I have
Oh,
a
my
caulking gun.
God.
That's almost like a machine gun.
You human
I
stink.
just bought it. Look at this, man. It's like,
So we got it.
yeah, baby. That's right.
What are you
Say
doing with
hello
that
to my
caulking
little
gun?
friend. I will caulk you good.
Yeah, but with this
man.
thing,
Caulk
I can
you.
see the future.
Oh wait! So Jay, you're gonna love this. So I met the guy today who did all the characters except for the 5 or 6 main characters for Thundercats. He did all the other characters, all the artwork, and all the ships.
Wow. For which one?
for Thundercats for the
The
series.
original one, or there's two.
Just the regular old series, whatever the first cartoon
Really?
series
Wow.
was. Yeah.
That's just too cool.
And the reason he brought it up is because of the icon you got popped in on my screen, over my face, and he seen
Right.
it. He brought it up. I said, "Yeah, that's my friend Jay's thing. I don't know why it's on mine, but still."
Yeah, you have to reset. It goes to the last. It always
Oh,
puts up the last.
it's whatever the last one is.
Pick was.
Oh man, okay. Since you all are geeks, right? Did you guys watch Power Rangers?
Yes.
When I was like 12 or younger.
I'm a little older than Jason. Pat, my son kind of watched some of it.
I think I was like first grade.
They
You know what? Though, my son preferred
Power
Turtles.
Rangers, but yeah, that's all. It's the same thing. Power Rangers. It was very cool.
So I'm a cool dad. My son used to be a big Ninja Turtle fan, and one day we're sitting.
I
He's
watched
like
that too.
9. He was like 9 or 10, and he heard me talking to a friend of mine. I said, we got that turtle up there. It's going to make great turtle soup. And he said, Dad, you can't eat the ninjas. I said, yeah, they're really good. So they taste good. It's like the bunny rabbits. Every year we catch him up at the end of the year. We catch him and cook him, and a new bunny takes over next year. His face was like, he was crushed. It's like such a bad dad.
It's like the old famous joke. What's the difference between a northern zoo and a southern zoo? Well, in a northern zoo, they have the habitat and tell you about the creature, where the creature lives, what part of the world it lives in, how it breeds, and yada yada. And
man,
all that kind of stuff.
I gotta say,
the zoo in the south, and it tells you all the same thing. It has the habitat of the creature, tells you where it is in the world, and how to hunt it, and what the best recipes are.
Yeah, it's probably true too. It's it's sad though, because I've been to a lot of zoos throughout the country, and northern zoos, I guess they haven't had the money to remodel them or revamp them, because most of the Audubon Society zoos are, they're habitats and not really zoos. And I noticed up north they're still playing catch up on that. Out west, that little bit catch up.
Neighborhoods, Joe. Habitats.
In some places, in some places that's the truth too.
Isn't that a planned neighborhood? Is a habitat?
Yeah.
I never got into Power Rangers. You know what? I grew up around a lot of war heroes, like my father's friends. I mean, he got blown up.
I kind of like
his friends got blown up in World War II. Some of them had the CMH and stuff like that. You listen to their stories, and you're like blown away because it's real. Then you look at the Power Rangers, and you're like, yeah, it's entertainment.
Power Rangers was too puffy for me.
Bugs Bunny was my thing. Give me some Bugs Bunny. Give me some.
Bugs Bunny was good.
Bugs Bunny was cruel and vicious. I don't even know how he's still in the fucking air today with all the woke world.
Nobody died though.
No, they died. They were just fucking reincarnated. That's all. Wile E. Coyote blows in the million.
Oh no, wait, yeah. The only one who did actually die was Daffy Duck when he drank the gasoline and the TNT, and then he lit himself on fire and exploded. Yeah.
Especially since coyotes can run so much faster than
rabbits,
the
Roadrunner.
like 3 times as fast.
Yeah, but and no one ever said anything about Wile E. Coyote's ability to paint really, really nice tunnels. I mean, like fantastically realistic tunnels. Even trains were fooled.
The man was talented. He should have put it in for Light of the Future. Maybe he might have won some. It's Jimmy Durante.
Look what they've done to Disney. Look how they mangled it.
Oh,
look
man.
how they mangled even the Snow White nonsense. They mangled it, man. With their DEI crap. And nobody cares, man. Nobody wants
to see
it.
It's so damn depressing what
it's
Disney did. It really is. It's sad.
Yeah, they're trying just to alter things how they want, and that's how.
Wait, now what y'all hating on Disney for now, man?
Regimes do that.
Because they're satanic.
I mean, they fuck up Star Wars, they fuck up Doctor Who. Now you saying they fucked up Snow White? Come on, what shit can you fuck up?
They did.
There's lots of stuff they can mess up.
They did mess up Snow White, man.
I don't know. I haven't watched it.
Dwarfs, and then they made them
well,
all,
I mean, it probably started with the Lion King, which is basically the Kimber the White
Yeah,
Lion.
now you see, I did hear the second Lion King they fucked up. I heard and then I heard y'all went the first ones. I heard that said this Snow White was very woke.
It is.
But the Lion King was plagiarism in the first place. When they realized that they were basically redoing Kimber the White Lion, they bought the entire rights of Kimber the White Lion.
It's the
So they own
girl
the
from
rights to
Snow
both of
White
them.
that plays Snow White, and she's Latino, so people had odds with that.
Oh.
I don't care about that. but she's a big mouth about Palestine. They knew that before they hired her. They knew she had a big mouth. They knew she
Well,
was one of
she's
those
in some
internet.
shit right now. She went in for some audition for some high profile job, and they told her she needed to prove she was.
West Side Story with Steven
They
Spielberg.
they don't believe it. They wanted her to prove her.
Yeah, her
at this.
prove
Yeah,
her
they're just like, well, because she was born here, so I was on the influence. She was from somewhere else. But no, then they said, like, so you're gonna have to prove it. We're not actually believing you. I think they're worried about. Well, you know, the Trumpers are a little crazy right now, so.
But you know what? You have these millennial bubbleheads that just they're brainwashed. They don't have much up there, and then they defend these crazy things, or Palestine or whatever. They don't even know what they're talking about. They just repeat what other people have told them to say. They have no mind of their own, so they go on and they rant and they do these things. And when you listen to them talk, you're like, oh my God, you don't know anything, do you? You poor thing. You've just been brainwashed. You may as well, drink the Kool-Aid, man, because that's what they're doing, right?
Yeah, I mean, unless you were living in that area, you can't imagine what either side is going through at this moment right now. So I mean, to jump on either one side, well, I don't think it's really any of our business to get involved in it, but we should at least try to help them stop it.
Who'll stop the rain?
Well, you know what? What they make over the weekend, Snow White made $16 million.
Well, that ain't shit for a Disney movie.
That's all they made was $16 million.
That's nothing.
I mean, come on,
They
they did
make
manage.
$60 million in one weekend.
They did manage to screw up Avatar too. So I mean, well, that what Disney.
A lot of them do like 200 million in a weekend. You know what I mean? Like crazy amounts. But yeah, nobody wants to see that happen.
And I'm not exactly happy with Dune 2. I mean, I ain't been happy with much lately. That's not good.
They made a big deal out of the Wicked.
Oh.
You know.
Oh.
Anybody see Wicked? Anybody here? Have you watched that movie?
Do you know there's a good scary movie coming out now? It's called Popeye the Sailor Man.
Wicked is like the Wizard of Oz, the story of.
Is there a new Popeye movie coming out? Really?
Yep. Popeye
Have you
the
been watching
Sailor.
those AI movie trailers, Sean? Have you been
Yes,
watching
ma'am.
those AI generated movie trailers?
Yes, ma'am. I have nothing else to do. helps me go to sleep. Believe it or not. Yeah. But no, there is the movies Popeye the Sailor Man.
So I know we're going to talk about some of Sean and Jay's favorite things. So there are lots of new polling numbers out on both the Democrats and the Republicans. Lots of new ones. Poor Elon, he's taking the brunt of getting kicked in the balls, but everybody else seems to be. Well, we'll talk about it in just a second, but there does seem to be some new ones coming out. Because the Democrats, who was it? It was CNN and one of the other MSNBC. Oh, Trump's numbers are tanking. They're falling. Oh, God, look. And then, of course, we find out by NBC, no less, and a couple other lefty companies. Well, that's not true. So currently the Democrats, depending on what you ask, their whole overall party rating, if you asked in the party, do you think the Democrats have direction and can help us? Only 10% of people said yes. That's it.
Wow.
Hey, man. What you got my uncle up there for, dude? What the fuck is that about?
That is the inspiration for Popeye.
That's racist, man.
That's the dude that they made Popeye over after. Mark Fleischman, whoever the guy who did Popeye. It's uncanny.
Yeah, it's a cartoon, pretty easy copy.
Hey, Joe, I have a question about these liberal judges out there now. Is this the last line of an attack on Trump by the Democrats with these judges?
Well, the funny part about this is this is not even an organized attack. This is just jointed, coming in from all kinds of different areas. There's no real direction of this. So what they're doing is they're finding liberal judges. All these judges we're talking about are in D.C., every one of them. All Obama-appointed judges. So no matter what Trump does, they're not going to side with him. They're just not going to. So that's one of the problems. And frankly, when he invoked the act the other day, that judge doesn't have a right to interfere in that. It's outside of his purview. He isn't president of the United States. He controls nothing to do with our military or our terrorism. It's not his job. We have special courts for that, as a matter of fact. So I'm not even sure why he stuck his nose into that. He should have recused himself, saying, no, you'll have to take that to a higher court.
Well, you know what? His daughter, that judge's daughter, works for illegal immigrants on telling them where to go, what to do. You know, they got money from USAID that thing she works for.
There's going to be a lot of stuff getting looked into now. So,
Like the Jeffrey Epstein flight logs.
yeah, well, so you see, he put out all the documents they had, including videos and pictures and everything else of JFK. So he's keeping his word. He's also going to put out Martin Luther King stuff as well.
Yeah.
That's the next thing coming out.
Well, so are we certain we're going to be getting all the autopsy photos and all of that, and plus there's allegedly
They said everything that hadn't, because autopsy photos are already out, but he said everything that had not been released, everything that they had. He said this is the order, and he said this multiple times. The order is non-redacted. Everything we have that has not been released previous has to be released, and he gave it only a couple of days to do it in.
Yeah.
Hey, Heidi.
What about the flight log?
So now Epstein thing, I don't exactly know what's going on with the Epstein thing. So I don't think Trump's on it, but somebody he knows.
Well, for sure he is.
No, he's not. So you don't know about Trump and Epstein, do you? Okay. So Trump went to go visit Epstein one time. And I'll tell you what happened. Trump left. Now listen, Trump got on his plane and left. And Epstein had a place at Mar-a-Lago. So when Epstein came back, Trump had him physically removed from the place, thrown off the property, and banned to ever come back again. He was actually on Trump's list of people to get put in jail. Trump is definitely anti anything when it comes to babies. Don't fuck with Americans' kids. He's going to put you down. It's just the kind of guy.
Yeah, but foreign kids, free reign.
No,
it was because Epstein propositioned the girl that worked at Mar-a-Lago who was young and really pissed Trump off.
It flipped him out. But no, he said part of it was he was somewhere, they were together somewhere. It wasn't even outside the country, someplace Epstein owned in the country. And he said it looked like the girls there mostly were under the age of 17, and it made him nervous.
Trump's got a moral.
I mean, he's a multi-billion-dollar. You don't want getting some woman saying you grabbed her in the ass is one thing. Saying some kid, that's a whole different thing.
I'm no Trump fan, but he's got a moral center.
He does have moral sense, and he loves his family and his grandkids. And you see how he is with kids. Look at Little X. Little X is done got him whooped.
You mean Drax? Little Drax.
Yeah, Little Drax. Little Drax got him whooped, man. Look at that. You see that? Little Drax is getting the codes for the bombs, man. Oh, you seen his smart ass the other day? Trump goes. So some MSNBC reporter, somebody else, and she said, "Well, isn't that the you hit that button and the nukes go off?" And he said, "This button," and he pushes it. It's his Coke button. I've seen him do this to 3 different reporters now. No, this is watch what happens. Oh, we're still here, and then here comes somebody with a Coke. It's like, this fucking asshole.
That is kind of a dick move, yeah.
But he's always had a Coke button, and it's not, it's not classified anything. Everybody knows he has one. It's kind of a thing.
Diet Coke, man.
He's I think he went back to regular Coke recently. He needs sugar or something. I know he's getting injections.
They
going
just linked aspartame to heart attacks, man. And I've been saying for years, don't use sugar sweetener. The artificial sweeteners. Don't use them. It's poison. It's nothing but poison. People didn't listen. What happened there?
I drink a lot of iced tea, so that's and we get we grow cane down here, so our sugar
in there. Put some sugar in there. A little maple syrup or something. I know you Southern boys don't know about the maple syrup.
No, we don't want no maple Yankee syrup, man. Keep that shit up there with y'all.
Maple syrup.
We have our own. Look, we got our own syrup.
There ain't no some polysorbate.
we got cane sugar, man. Comes in. Oh, it's nice and sticky.
With these maple trees.
Yeah. Cane sugar definitely tastes different than maple syrup does. That's for sure. It's definitely a different flavor.
But people knew back in the 70s when saccharin came on the scene, it was poison. They put it on the label. Could cause cancer. I mean, if they wouldn't put that on there, they didn't think it could cause cancer.
No, they didn't say could cause cancer. They said it's been known to cause cancer in laboratory animals.
Yeah, and pigs.
Okay, so let's Let's get some news in that we
Poor-
missed from
those
last
poor
night.
sweet pigs.
Yeah, we need
You know?
Coke.
How do you think they
Speaking
sweeten your ham?
speaking of bad sugar, I need a Coke. Where's my little red fucking butt, man? I need a red butt. So let's see here. Let's see. White House report cut 2 months in. So these things, I love these now because I'm signed up with a couple of companies that sends it to me. And the companies make sure I know who the original article came from, what company it came from, and who the person who wrote the article was, which I really like because I like to stalk people when they're assholes and say stupid shit. So I like to go, hey, let's go see who you are. So this is interesting, this first report card. So out of all the stuff that goes on, unfortunately, Elon is taking the brunt of the hit, losing $100 billion worth of stock in Tesla. So everybody's talking about, he's stealing from us. No, it cost him $100 billion to help us so far.
Costing him money, yes.
Yeah, so he's losing money trying to help us out. And he got a 39 to 49% approval rating depending on where you ask. But Doge, if you asked Republicans or independents, it was somewhere around 73% were okay with Doge. If you asked Democrats, it was still 58% were okay with Doge. So no one really has a problem with what Doge is doing, except for, I don't know, some, I guess, AOC.
Do you
and
think
people
that
like
those
that.
numbers went up because Doge also promised everybody about $5,500?
It's, I don't know, it's what part is this? Sorry, I was reading you said that.
Heidi got a question. She said, "What is up with the haters torching Teslas at the dealerships?"
Yeah,
Because this is okay. This is orchestrated. It's probably Soros or Kubin or somebody. This is a way to bring down Tesla stock because now, look, Tesla got kicked out the car show overseas today because they're scared it could make violence at the car show. So now they're being rejected places. So they're just trying to put Tesla out of business is what they're doing. Remember, the Democrats backed Tesla up the yin yang, gave them all kind of money and everything until Elon came out as a Republican. And now they're completely opposite. But now Elon's getting smart and saying, okay, y'all want to play this game? Well, I'm going to start suing. He said, because this is intentional and deliberate. It's not going to be that hard to prove. And the guy said, I'll make sure it goes into a Republican court. So he's already planning for this, I guess. He's going to go back and just start suing across the board. He told AOC if she was ever stupid enough to say, she said something the other day again, he would make sure that she was homeless the rest of her life.
Wow.
He's like, you just do not know where you are going. Because, I mean, some of the shit she said, there's no way she can prove her back up. It's defamation of character, and you can see that it's helped cause riot in the streets and having people. I mean, everybody, it's like Tim Walz coming out and laughing at Tesla because of what they lost. Well, there's 1 million Tesla owners. I mean, 1 million Tesla stockholders in his country. I mean, his state. And the big chunk of the 401k is on those stocks in that state.
They got one person for torching Teslas and whatnot. And one of my friends mentioned that, and all I said about this guy is, I have no sympathy for this idiot. If you're going to go out and vandalize someone's property, whether it's a businessman or just a business in general, because you hate the business, you're not hurting anybody. That business is insured. And if someone gets hurt or killed, you're at fault for that. But this guy gets caught and he's like crying because he burned a Tesla up. I have no sympathy for you. You're an idiot. You got caught for doing it. You should pay the guy for crime.
What you really fucked up is of course they've made this now a homegrown terrorist thing.
Well, good. This kid's going to pay it through the nose then.
Yeah, now you're looking at 10 to 20 years.
So what about the Teslas that blow themselves up? Like the ones that just kind of catch fire, and burn?
That you have to take up with the warranty division at Tesla.
Warranty division at Tesla. That's all we can tell you. Ain't the only electric car out there trying to self-explode.
Electric cars have killed 85 people just recently. So
I'm more worried about these two self-driving.
How many people have gasoline cars killed?
No, I don't know.
So I'm telling you, I'm watching this car yesterday, self-driving car, and there's some things sped up a couple times. It was driving like a city driver, like squeezing in things. And I'm like, hey, dude, car, you know what you're doing here?
I'm saying, like, if you're sitting in a car and it explodes, and you die. I mean, how many gasoline cars have done that to
Yeah,
people?
and
Not
see,
many.
and
I
then
can't think of any, as a matter of fact. Like,
oh no, there's been
unless there was
gas
something
cars.
cataclysmic.
Oh yeah, gasoline cars explode all the time through accidents and other reasons. For poor maintenance.
In the old days, they used to explode quite a lot, but today it's a lot more. It's a lot
Haven't you
safer.
haven't you seen those idiots who are playing with the gasoline nozzle while they're filling up? They cause a spark and they catch on fire. Haven't you ever seen those videos? There's
No.
people do all kinds of stupid shit with cars.
I'm talking about just cars, manufacturing, exploding. Boom.
Yeah.
Doesn't
Well,
happen. Man.
recalls
Doesn't
like
happen.
the exploding Pinto. Remember that? You hit it
Well,
from the
going
back and it
back
explodes.
to the 70s, I'm talking about now. With electric cars. Electric cars explode and then they burn out of control. It's almost impossible to put them out until they burn out. They're just,
Yeah,
it's not-
well, those
it's not good
batteries,
science.
once in lithium batteries go, they'll do that. But they did that in your phone, man. What are you talking about?
Not
They were
good
blowing up in
science.
your back pocket and your ear long before they started blowing up in cars.
Especially if you buy your phone from Israel. Those
Yeah.
things are-
Yeah,
they
well,
blow
no,
up all the
that's if you
time.
know that's your pager, man. You buy your exploding phones from China.
Don't buy them.
Get your
Any
places
electronics
right,
being
man. Get your
produced out
places
or
right.
in Israel, outside of Israel, or being passed through Israel.
So right now, Quinnipiac is giving the Democratic Party, Congress, the Democratic Congress has a 19% approval by all the. We're talking the whole entire Democratic Party is only giving the Congress 19%. They're actually giving the Republicans a higher mark, and they're giving their own party.
Yeah.
Quinnipiac, so poor MSNBC had to admit that Trump has a 51% approval rating. NBC said he had a 53% approval rating. I noticed a couple of other ones had him around 55 and 56.
Yeah.
So that just overall, but his low spot is the economy, and that's around 51, 52.
The
We
trick
asked
of the
about
Pinto Hardy is you got to hit him from behind.
So apparently, man, all these pardons were made by AutoPen, which was against the rules.
yeah, no, I don't know if it was against the rules or not. That's going to be a big fight there. Because Trump signs things with AutoPen. Every president signs things with
But you
AutoPen.
don't know who signed it. You don't think Joe Biden signed it. I don't think the guy can remember what he did 10 minutes ago, let alone.
That doesn't matter. You got to prove he didn't do it. You can't just say it. And that's how it works, man. You can't just say, "Oh, you know what? He fucking
Trump
he's a
is
fucking
on the
idiot."
warpath, and he's looking for every little tiny thing. I wouldn't want to be his enemy because they tried putting him in jail. He's mad about that.
I mean, but it doesn't seem like he's on the warpath to even go after those people right now.
He's doing it, man. He's kind of, I see what he's doing.
It seems like he's more focusing on trying to get the economy back together.
He's very systematic, man. He knows exactly what he's doing, and then they're going after who they need to go after, and you're gonna see some heads roll. I think, or it's gonna be court battles, more likely. But we'll see. I want him to do positive things. I don't even like the guy, but I'm starting to in a weird way, which I resent.
Why do you resent that? Why Dr. Grandmaster Flash?
Because he's not a likable guy as far as I'm concerned. He's not. What's a good word for it? A good guy. I think he's done terrible things to people over time. And I remember all the real estate wars in the city when he bought the whole West Side. He forced those people out. He sent in homeless people to piss and crap in the hallways. He shut the power and everything off. So he's out there saying, well, some of those people were millionaires and they just lived there and rent control. They didn't want to move. But there's tens of thousands of lawsuits that were launched against him because of all these things. And then that's what he did. That's what he did. I mean, he hired this group, this security group, company, whatever you want to call them, that specialized in getting tenants out of a building. And they played every dirty trick that there was. But some of these people have lived there 15, 20 years, but he transformed the West Side into, it's all Trump buildings. All Trump, the whole West Side, all through Harlem, the whole West Side, man. His buildings. But whatever. I mean, I know what kind of person he is. Do I think he's going to do a good job for this country? I hope so. I'm not seeing any changes necessarily, but it's brand
Well,
new.
we didn't see changes right away when his first administration began either, but we did see some positive degree of change, especially in the economy.
I see the moves they're making, and I see the rhetoric. You know what's funny now though? The people out there that are so used to blaming and being angry and hating everything. They don't know what to hate right now because they love electric cars, but they hate Elon Musk. You know what I mean? Like, and then they're torching all these electric cars, but they love electric cars. It's kind of funny that they don't know who to hate. They have to pick and choose. And the Democrats, they ran away with their tails between their legs. They
Thank you,
have nothing
Ivy.
to say. They have nothing to say. There's no, you know what? I like Fetterman, and Fetterman's like AOC is full of crap. He's for real. He's for real. That's what the Democrats need to harness. Is
And
that
he's
type
fr-
of energy.
He's from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, buddy.
Yeah, you need the Fettermans
and he's
out
probably
there.
he's probably going to flip to the Republican side.
I don't think so. I think that he's a great moderate Democrat. He shines as that. He stands out as that. I think he can have a future in that. I can see him going a lot higher than what he is right now. So you know what? I mean, the Democrats need that face and that attitude to win back the working class. If they don't, they never will. With these idiots that they have in there. Look at AOC. She's already a millionaire. How'd that happen in a few years of her making just basic salary, you know? I mean, she lives in $1 million apartments and has all this stuff. You need to question all of it, follow the money, and then hold people accountable. So we'll see what happens, man. You know what? I'm optimistic. Not really. Sort
Well,
of.
they're going to be investigating AOC. They already said that. AOC, Omar, and somebody else. They already said
Well,
they're going to
I mean, if you have a department, I mean, even though it's not necessarily, it might not be even actually a government department like the IRS, but if they're paying people that are 605 years old, I mean, there's obviously corruption going. There's somewhere is that somebody's collecting that money over time.
Absolutely.
Where did it go exactly? Find
you can
out.
always follow the money because it gets downloaded into bank accounts, you know, and then you
Yeah.
can see who cashed what when. I mean, there's a lot of bank records out there. So if they choose to do so, they can chase them down. It's fraud.
With
It's
all the
fraud,
new
man.
polling results out right now, if Democrats stay on this current course, which they seem to be imploding, Trump seems to make him implode.
Fraud is fraud. Right?
It's going to be another red wave in 2026.
I don't know how many Republicans there are out there that are really that decent. You know, the problem with politicians is that they're establishment politicians for the most part. Trump is not. So that's what's appealing about him. He's not establishment. He's not going to follow the swamp rules. But the rest of them will. And the only reason why they're following him because he's the one with all the power right now. He knows how to use it too. He's using money over people. Told Columbia University, oh yeah, you start spitting at Jewish students, you allow that stuff, and then they're endangered. Guess what? You just lost $400 million a year from us for a federal grant. Then they complained, they milled around, and they just yesterday they were like, okay, we'll do what you want us to do, you know. And what does he want them to do? As safeguard people who are on their campus who are Jewish. What the hell's wrong with that? Like, why do you have to jump through a fire hoop or be reluctant to agree? And then they call themselves educators? It's gone too far. The whole crazy liberal side has gone too far. That they need to get rid of that and restore back to common sense if they can. You know.
Well, I don't know. I didn't listen to the whole thing that AOC was saying the other day. I just was able to hear a little bit because I was short on time. But it almost sounded to me like she was trying to distance herself from the Democratic Party as like, you know, a new party or an independent party.
No, because they don't like what she's saying now, and she went after Chuck Schumer. All of a sudden, Chuck Schumer's voting with the Republicans, but I hear telltale that he was on that Epstein Island, and he was on that plane, and he's on that list, and all of a sudden now he's doing something that is the complete polar opposite to his personality, and then his
because Trump's got the goods on him.
His whole political life, he's like controlled now. You know what I mean? Under control. And then, and even Pelosi was on him. Everybody was on him. How could you do that? How could you vote? Because they voted to keep the government open. He could have just stood up and said, shut the government down, which looks bad for Trump and all that, right? But he didn't do it. So interesting that all of a sudden, there you go, man. There you go. But how do you feel? What if that's true? And what if there's blackmailing going on now because of that from government to government officials to make them vote a certain way? There's a lot of things that we should be talking about and thinking about with that information. You know what I mean? So I don't know, man. I don't like the whole feeling. Don't like the whole feeling of it. But I don't like Chuck Schumer anyway. You know, I'm not a political liking type of guy. I think that they're representatives and nothing more, and they become these super powerful people. You know, I think there should be term limits so they can't stay in and then get those political positions. They go in poor and they come out filthy rich. We need to be questioning this. You know, I mean, you know, the Obama's worth hundreds of millions of dollars, man. You know, he was a public servant. Think about it. He's president. You know, but whatever. Trump went in there rich. He's got rich Elon Musk. Elon Musk ain't in it for the money. He's in it for the game, right? For negotiation. I actually think the guy has an honest bone in his body in saying all of this corruption. Look at this. Look at the spending. Look at all this. And people are complaining that he's uncovering all these things. They're complaining. Come on, man.
Well, I don't know why you would complain about that, but
he's not taking a salary. Trump is paying overtime for the astronauts. He said out of his own pocket.
What are they going to do with all this excess money, though? Do we have a clear direction where that money's going to go? I mean, he can't. I mean, he's going to give $5,000 to everybody. There's way more money than that out there.
I think 20% of the money they collect is going to go to what they owe. The government owes
the debt, pay down the debt, and that's what it's supposed to be for, you know. And then I mean, the more they pay the debt down, the better our economy is, the stronger our dollar is, you know. So, but you know something, when they're criticizing him, saying, "Oh, the stock market's going down," whatever. When the stock market goes down, it sucks if you own stocks. If you don't own stocks, it doesn't suck because it makes things cheaper in your store. It makes things better for you. You know what I mean? Who doesn't own that? I mean, like, it drives down the price of things. Now we're seeing these prices being driven down. The price of fuel has gone down quite a bit. There's a lot of stuff happening. I'm watching it happen in Wall Street. I'm watching it every day. And I'm like, wow, that's interesting because you need that balance. And things have been out of control. So,
well, I saw at work today. I went to work today, and we were like so busy, it was unbelievable. Really, a lot of people were shopping and they were buying meat. The prices have come down. They're still a little outrageous, but you know what? They are coming down. And people were shopping. Even the price of chicken's coming down.
Wait till you see when the war is solved, right? And a couple of these other issues, you know, that's going to make Wall Street flex and go, and then it's going to transform the market, you know, because, you know, war is never good. Ukraine, they've got the grain and all the fuel that we got mixed up with, the Russian fuel that we can't buy, all that other stuff. So Trump's trying to make deals, man. He's trying to make deals. But in the same sense, if some people don't want to make deals, I think he's going to turn into a wild man if Putin doesn't want to make deals, or is it Zelensky?
I don't know. Let's see. Putin might make
in no position not to make a deal.
And,
you know,
and Zelensky's realized it. So he went over there with all those Europeans. He said they want to give him all that money, and now it's all held up. They can't give it to him.
Yeah, they told him no, which is hysterical. I saw you post that, and he's sitting there. Now he's sitting there with his penis in his hand, like in that video. He plays the piano for 5 minutes with his penis. That's the leader of the Ukraine. Now that's what he's doing right now. Because now
that's what he's doing. So he's screwed.
Trump is like, negotiate or we're out. We're out. And that's it. And that's the way you have to be, man. That's the way.
Yeah.
That's the way you have to be with teenagers. That's the way you have to be with anybody who holds out their hand to money for you.
So, y'all, this shit's crazy here. So this is this veterans. What is this? Where we at? Where was it? So y'all know who James Carville is, right? Y'all haven't seen the old bastard.
Yeah, he's in that. He's a little bit.
He's still alive.
So wait. So this is what he had to deal with today. So the new CBS News YouGov poll has revealed that only 7% of Democrats feel excited about U.S. politics, and 10% report feeling motivated. Ooh. Carville claimed that Democrat leaders are not coming to help. He said it's not coming. He's just convinced that they're not getting any help. So right now, Reuters poll says only 58% of Democrats believe their party offers a superior economic policy. with even lower confidence regarding foreign policy, national security, and other things, sharply contrasting the Republicans' 80% expressing 80%. So I think the 58% is a lot high. I think they're lying, Reuters, but I'm sorry, Reuters. I got to take. We've done a lot of your polls in the last couple of years, and your polls are itchy skitchy. Let's say off 10 or 15% usually.
Yeah.
Especially if you go back and just look at the election stuff, you'll realize you don't have to take our word for it. People, you got to look for yourself.
They were politically motivated. They weren't real polls. They were.
Right. Oh, absolutely, they were politically motivated.
So this is high as they can skate. So I figure it's probably right around 50% on the Democrats. Because some of the other polls we were just looking at showed the Democrats around 21 to 28%. So anyway it goes, they're in deep shit. I mean, with 7% of your party, just that's it. It's excited. You're in deep shit, and you have no current leaders. And I keep seeing these things. Oh, Kamala's being big. She's going to be next president. I'm sorry, she's not going to be next president. You run Kamala again, it don't matter who the Republicans run, they're going to win.
Harold Ford Jr.
They could run a little X and they would
Harold Ford Jr. needs to come out of retirement and then run for president.
Now X gets to be president though, right? He's a naturally born citizen. His mama is a X, little Draco. I mean,
little Draco can be president.
So yeah, because his mama's a U.S. citizen and he was born here, so he gets to be
President Drax.
That's right, Chief. Y'all don't know what's coming. I'm gonna have to watch.
All right. Do you think Barron Trump will be the next president, or one of them? When
he might be one day. He's what is he? So he's got to wait 20 years. He's got to wait 18 years. Is it 36 or 38? Anyways, it's at least 20 years he's got. So we got a while.
Do you think he could be one?
Yeah, I think he could be one, but he needs to get in politics, and he needs to run for the House in his 20s and win.
I hate to say, man, I have a bad feeling for that dude. I feel like things are going to be cut short for him. I just have a feeling. You know what I mean? But I don't think he's a terrible person either. I think he's got a good understanding of things. Trump's other sons, I don't like either one of them. I don't know. I don't like either one of them. They just seem like ass-kissing sycophants. It's just, I don't know. I don't think they have a mind of their own, actually. I mean, I'm sure because Trump is so overbearing, and probably as a father, he was probably a lot harder on them than even Barron, But
I would think so. I don't think Melania would let Donald go off on Barron.
I like seeing the kids though at the White House. I like seeing little X stumble around the helicopter there.
Oh no, it's cool, and he got other kids. You see, he's doing that signing that Bill. He had that coalition of kids. And he likes kids. It's just one of the things. He's got his own grandkids and great grandkids, and he's and you can tell he's used to it. And you can tell that when you see this granddaughter and him get up on stage, and when you see them all around him, you can tell he's just used to it. They bounce around on him, jump on him. He just ignores them. And I know from personal experience that's what you do. You're like, what? And it's it's just how it is.
Like Jason from Friday the 13th, right? Like he would just sit there and ignore the serial killer from Friday the 13th. I don't know. You just when you said that, it just reminded me of that dude. Kids are bouncing around, and you're like.
Oh man, CNN poll says 60% of Democrat-leaning voters believe the party needs significant changes. So that means about 85%. Oh Jesus, man! They're in trouble.
Dude. I mean, the Democratic Party, all the big people are ancient. They're all over 70 at least. They're ancient, man. So what do you?
Well, the problem is nobody can step up and lead. It's not going to be Kamala because she's an idiot. Gavin Newsom, nobody really likes. Shapiro don't seem to be interested in the job. There really isn't anybody else.
It's going to be Fetterman and people like him because that's the only direction they can possibly go.
I don't want to be mean, Michael, but nobody's electing a president that goes around in a hoodie. It ain't going to happen. He ain't going to get the votes. And that's his only next step because he's already a senator. So he really doesn't have who else to
I don't see him getting presidency, Yeah,
I mean, he's going to have to change something if he wants to be president.
I'm not saying he doesn't have to be president. I'm saying that's
what
they need.
Go.
That's the attitude that they need.
They do, and I like Fetterman. I like Fetterman from day one. I always told him he was going to beat Oz.
Fetterman seems very real, and I think that's what they needed to be real. They had enough of these fake asses. They need to get them out. And then
fake ass bitches. Don't make me put JoJo.
Fake ass. You know, he got that one and married her brother. That one, you know.
This is the fifth poll in a row about Democrats being in deep shit. This is from Politico. I mean, when your own allies are saying you're in deep shit, like the other one was CNN, hey, you should be paying attention.
But Trump appointed people who were Democrats or whatever to his cabinet, and then you know, it's interesting that this is done.
I mean, are they saying that the party is collapsing or what? What are they? What are the?
Pretty much that's what everybody's saying. It's in deep shit.
They're
It's
on
on
their
its it's on the way. Well, come on. So the other day they posted all these big polls showing that how AOC embodies the Democratic Party's values. I'm like, what the fuck? What did I miss?
But she's a moron, isn't she?
Bubble
She is a moron, and she definitely doesn't embody the Democratic Party. I mean, all those centralists, all those whatever the hell I call it.
She's hanging out with Bernie Sanders.
The woke bubble,
and her and Bernie are out on tour right now. But
DEI
oligarchy tour.
DEI is dead, and the woke bubble popped. So all these media outlets are laying people off.
Oh, I think she was actually talking.
You know who that is? That's Papa Smurf, and what was it? The blue one. Oh man, I can't remember. The girl name. No, the girl. It's Papa Smurf.
Lady Smurf.
And that's yeah. The other one's AOC and one's Bernie Sanders. So we'll use Papa Smurf as Bernie Sanders. Gargamel would be good. You know, Gargamel would be better for Pop. Wouldn't it? Yeah, anyway, if y'all don't know who Gargamel is, don't even write to me.
He's the bad guy.
Look it up like
Come on, if you
right
don't
now,
know
the
that,
Democrats have no viable choices for president 4 years from now.
They don't. I mean, they could have had with if you know they hadn't alienated Bobby Kennedy Jr. You know,
I can't listen to him talk. Is my thing.
He's hard to listen to. That's why he couldn't run for president. You know, there's things, unfortunately, that Americans will tolerate and not tolerate, and that's just one of those things. There's been so much crap going on.
Do you think Michelle Obama's going to rise and come out?
Oh, wait now. Oh, I'm glad you brought that stuff. The other day, I'm reading an article about she's driving her SUV. Right? No big deal, right? Is that a big deal to anybody? She's driving her own SUV.
Nope.
So when you have Secret Service, you do not get to drive yourself. Period.
Uh-oh.
So the only way she wouldn't have Secret Service is if her and him split. Because she has it for life, unless they get divorced, and then she doesn't.
Really? Is that true?
That's true.
Are you sure?
Positive.
And
he made it that way, actually. It used to be he got it for 10 years or something. And then Obama said he wanted it for life, so he gave him and George Bush.
But have you seen Trump pulling people's Secret Service? He got Biden, you know, like Hunter Biden. All these people that have Secret Service.
Some things he can't touch, like Obama's and...
Yeah, but he pulled everybody else, or he's taking their security clearance away. I love it, man.
No, he can do that.
He's like up all night just thinking what he could do to screw them up, man.
But that's just being vindictive. I mean, it's not like they get to use it or anything. Or
he pulled Biden's security clearance. Now he's got to get permission if he comes around. Biden offered to go and do fundraising. People in the Democratic Party laughed their asses off.
Actually, no, that's not what they did. The guy that runs a big super PAC, he went. That's what he did.
Yeah, but there's a reason why they call it.
Really, that's what he did. I mean, he was like, fuck you, and fuck you, and fuck your party. I'm thinking it might be time we should start a centrist party. This might be a good time, because there's some Republicans looking to be central. Definitely a lot of Democrats and some independents. You know, you could become the majority party pretty quick. And not have to fight with all this other bullshit. Just leave those lefties and righties out there to fight with each other. Well, no, you can have a centrist party in the United States. The center's big.
The third choice.
Yeah.
Well, what would end up happening is the center party would be big, but it probably wouldn't get complete control of anything. So it would probably be your president and your House and your Senate, but you would need left and right to get things done. So sometimes you'd have to have the left right vote with you. Sometimes you have to have the right vote with you to get things done, which would be the way the fucking government should work. And, you know, for us, instead of whatever it works for these days. Because I don't know what it works for these days. It ain't working for us. Especially after all this shit I've been hearing Doge has been finding. I'm like, fuck.
Yeah, I mean, paying people that are 600 and some years old.
Well, I wrote to Social Security today and said, I'm 670 years old. Where's my last 300 years of Social Security? Let's see what they tell me. Jamie Lee Curtis. And what? Are you hot as Jamie Lee Curtis? Is that where you got that name? Because you hot like that? Like, like she was in, what was that movie, Letters?
She was pretty hot back in the 80s.
She was a hottie time.
She's
No,
hottie now.
I don't. Okay, before anybody gets, I don't think she's the hottiest one I've ever seen. But she was
I'm
pretty.
gonna say the boob scene from Trading Places, man.
Yeah.
That's what I'm gonna say. When she showed her boobs, and then she had just the most perfect. Her face looks like a dude, but the boobs, like, whoa.
Look at the smile. Look at his smile, man. Look at
Yeah,
this.
she's got a face
Look
like
at
a
Michael's
mackerel, but
smile.
she's
She
got a
don't
nice
even have any boobs. I mean, they're this big or something.
Are you kidding? Jamie Lee
Oh
Curtis?
my God!
They're
Yeah.
beautiful.
She's got a pretty nice set. I think they're store bought, but they're nice.
Joe likes the double F.
It must be like C. No, man, it must be like baby C's or high B's or something, man.
You
I
want
know
the
my
big
boobs.
cones.
Look, I'm
You
from
want the
New Orleans. I
highway
know my
cones.
boobs, man. Don't even try to talk to me about
Hey,
it.
Google,
highway
what
code.
bra size does Jamie Lee Curtis
Do
wear?
you have any idea how many sets of boobs I've been from living in the city of New Orleans? Always in Mardi Gras. Let me see your boobs for beads. Jesus, man.
No.
By the time I was 10, I'd probably seen more boobs than y'all seen y'all's entire life combined. That's
By the
just
time
sad.
I was 10,
That's
I've
just
seen
sad.
many boobs.
It's just sad. And it tells me something because my son was
They
raised in here,
told
which
me
you
about
see as too. You know what's funny though, dude? So you go
I
down to the
like
French
po'
Quarter.
boys too.
You go, yeah, I did. Probably good thing. But
When
you go
I
to the
was
French Quarter, right?
15.
Yeah, you're right. C
you're
cup
out there.
34C. I would have thought 34D, but she's a C cup.
Yeah, I know.
It's a full C though. I mean, it's like with like one.
Yeah,
Depending on the brand, it could be a small D.
We
like-
need to have
they're
a
like
poll, man, because they're perfect. I think I
Oh,
don't like
man.
the rest of her, but the boobs. whew.
So let's see. So thigh fight chicks that are hot. Ladies, y'all might want to close y'all's ears for this.
Oh,
Ladies, we still
Maren Jensen.
Well, she was
Absolutely
horror
the
chick
hottest.
all the way, man. Think about the movies that she's been in.
Well, that was
Maren-
who wasn't the girl from Friends a horror chick too? Which she's not really hot, but
But Jamie Lee Curtis,
yeah,
she ended up getting.
Cox was.
She ended up getting political, man. That was such a turnoff. And I'm like, ugh.
yeah, it is.
You guys
And
know
they
who
found
Maren
it out the
Jensen
hard way.
is?
Who?
Maren Jensen.
No, who should she play?
Then you guys aren't nerds at all. She played Apollo's sister on Battlestar Galactica, who Starbuck had the hots for.
I know.
Oh, I do remember that. Jesus Christ, I can't believe I remember that.
She
Oh,
was
man,
the
that's
hottest
255.
female
Oh.
colonial warrior. She had blue eyes and black hair. She was hot as
Well,
hell.
and the new one, she ain't even in it. So. Who's the hottest one in the new Battlestar Galactica? Starbuck.
Yeah,
See, it just sounds bad saying Starbuck is hot.
Stupid.
It's like the
I hate the new Battlestar Galactica. It was so predictable.
My favorite action chick is Mila Jovovich, man, all the way.
Is who?
Wait,
Mila
where does she
Jovovich.
play it? I don't. You got to tell me what she plays in. My brain's not working on games.
Mila,
Give me some.
all the Resident Evil movies, man. You
Oh,
okay.
Mila
She's okay.
Jovovich. Yeah,
She
she's
was
the
okay.
foremost
Jovovich,
actress.
they
Ugh,
pronounce it
she's
Jovovich.
horrible, dude.
She was alright.
She's
She
amazing.
I
wasn't-
watched one of those ultraviolet movies and I about vomited 5 minutes in. I turned it off. I couldn't watch
Well,
it.
you know the reason I watched the first Ultraviolet movie, I had just watched Eon Flux, and I was like, so somebody said, "Oh, it's the same movie,
It's
same
not.
chick." Well, no, it ain't the same movie. It's not the same chick, but
Yeah.
it's just. And then
Eon Flux
sci-
and Charlize
sci-fi. So
Theron.
I'm thinking we've got 7, 9. Yeah. Now that's a set of perfect ones right there. And
Yeah, Jerry Ryan is a very pretty lady.
and then of course we've got T'Pol. Not bad.
Store-bought,
Still scoring. Oh, I agree with Starboy, but they're little tiny, but not bad. Of course, there's
You got Wonder Woman, man. Back
we got
in the day.
Riker's woman. Oh yeah, well both of them. What was new one and the old one.
Riker's
Let's
Fantasy
call it
Woman
that.
in the holodeck. Yeah, that was pretty cool.
Who's the chick that played She-Hulk? She's fucking hot.
On what though? I mean, there's She-Hulk on Legends.
The movie where it was Hulk.
Oh, I don't know. I don't know. I have to go look and see. I don't know. I know who was playing it in the TV series Legends, but Yeah, she was a character in the series at the beginning of the series.
There were the Hawk people in the later on in the Battlestar Galactica TV show, or not Battlestar Galactica, Buck Rogers TV show. That his friend Hawk.
Buck Rogers in the 25th and a half century. Oh no, that was Buck Dodgers. Sorry, Buck Dodgers.
Yeah, Buck Rogers is what I'm talking about. Buck Rogers in the 25th century. That was a good show.
It was a
Hey,
little
Mike,
campy.
what's the show on tonight about, buddy?
I don't know.
Oh, we preempted him tonight.
Or what?
We
I kind of just
preempted.
go with the flow, man.
We said fucking. We just
I'm going to
preempted.
talk
his
about
show.
alien abduction and mental illness. That's what
Oh my god! We know you got mental illness, man.
That's why he's on the
So,
network.
so real quick. So I want to recap some of these numbers real quick. So currently, Trump himself overall approval rating is around 56%.
That's
His
not
approval
bad.
Rating, his approval rating on the economy is 53%. His
Yeah.
approval on security is like 80-something%, and his security on the borders is something like 80-something%. And the Doge things is 73%. So, I mean, he's above water.
I'm still in shock that people aren't, mad about the findings. They're protesting it and like it's some kind of
That's mostly Democrats. And that's got a lot to do with the
propaganda or
press.
whatever. I mean, why aren't people
there's
rattling
no
the
Republicans
papers?
So this is what's going to really happen. So oil's down $30 a barrel, which means we're going to start seeing prices nudging their way down consistently.
Wow.
I mean, it's at 60, 65, I think, a barrel right now, which means when it gets to 50, we're usually sitting somewhere at around $1.25, $1.50. That's usually where we're sitting for a gallon of gas. And right now we're sitting right at $2 is where we're sitting. So that's where we are, and we're in the middle of the summer, the springtime switch. So
Let
that
me see
means
if I
it's
can
going
see
to go
the
down.
Rutter's gas sign from the window here with my
And
current.
then eggs are come down $2 a dozen.
Oh yeah,
A little more than $2 a dozen, about $2.60 a dozen. And then ground meat's down about $2 a pound. On average, I'd say most of the groceries are down about 14%. This is going to start seeing across the country now, so you'll see his next polls on the economy next month will be better. And the month after that,
Wow.
then we have to see what
$3.15 a
tariffs.
gallon now.
That's high, man. How you gonna pay that high dollar gas, man?
Well, I'm in Pennsylvania, in Waynesboro, right in dead center. $3.15 for the regular stuff, $3.95 for the high test, and then across the way in Maryland, it's like $2.89, $2.87, something like that. You can get
$2.89 for up north ain't bad.
$5 a gallon.
I mean, anything under $3 in Yankee Land's a good deal.
Yeah.
What do you mean, Jack? Why do
It's
I
like
call it Yankee
$3.50
Land? Look,
something
I thought I've explained this to
for
you.
89 octane.
So why do you think we call Northerners Yankees? You want to know why? Because they're always yanking on. I'm just telling you, that's why we call them that. If you can't figure that out, I don't even know what to tell you. I'm just gonna let that slide. Oh wait, who you talking about? Oh, I can't remember her name. Oh no, you're talking about Viagra Girl. That's who you're talking about. The one from that TV series. Yeah, I know who you're talking about. Miss Bouncy Girl. I can't think of her name right now. It's just Spanish, something Viagra. Yeah, I'm not pronouncing her last name correctly, but yeah, she's on she's married to the guy from in the series. She's married from the guy, the guy with the tie, Al. Whatever TV series that was.
Sofia Vergara.
Yeah, no. What's a TV series? He was a shoe salesman.
Married with Children.
Oh, Katie Segal.
Yeah, Married with Children. Yeah. So the guy who plays Al on the other show is married to Sophia Viagra, I think's her name, something like that.
Sofia Vergara.
Yeah, that's her. Yeah, somebody was just writing in about how hot she is. Actually, he said how squishy she is. You're a sick individual. Squishy. Oh, hey, look, okay, whatever turns you on, it's not my business. As long as you ain't squishing with me. Sean said you can come squishy with him. Yeah, but
You need a lot of money for a woman like that. Let me tell you,
Well,
man.
I could say this much: she is pretty funny, and she is pretty. She's pretty, and she's in the new Three Stooges movie, and there is a boob gag in the movie.
That's cool.
Yeah,
A lot of money for a woman like that.
Oh, you're talking about the girl
Sean's
from
got the
Fifth
steaks, he
Element?
got the filet mignon.
Who was the little cutie from Fifth Element?
Mila Jovovich, the one we were just talking about.
Mila
Ultra
Jovovich.
Violet.
Oh, so wait. Who played Serenity?
Who?
That's
That's a chick with the black hair.
Yeah.
No, the Bond girl.
From
No, the black-headed girl, the crazy girl, the sister in Serenity, the one with all the powers.
Yeah.
I've seen her in a bunch of other stuff too. Oh no, they're awesome. We said sci-fi chicks, dude. That's what we were just talking about.
Summer Glau.
They
Summer Glau was River Tam.
that River Tam. She was bad to the bone. Oh, you mean Firefly? Who is my favorite character? Ooh, I don't know.
I like Kaylee. I thought she was hot.
Kaylee was fun. Black chick was fun. Can't think of her name, but she was fun.
Oh, here I got the whole cast right here. Hang on, let me go back to it. So Nathan Fillion played Captain Malcolm, and Joss Whedon was the director, creator. Gina Torres was the black lady. Zoe Washburn. Summer Glau played the sister, River Tam. Jewel State played my favorite, Kaylee Fry. Alan Tudyk was Hoban Washburn, or Wash.
Oh, I like Jamie was my favorite character.
Yeah. Adam Baldwin was Jane Cobb. Morena Baccarin,
He was my
Inara
favorite
Sierra.
character. Yep.
Ron Glass from WKRP in Cincinnati. He played Shepard Book.
Yep.
Sean Marr, he plays the brother, River Tam, Simon Tam.
Simon Tam, yeah.
And then the beautiful Christina Hendricks was Saffron.
They're trying to do a reboot. I don't know who's going to be doing what. There's actually a couple of reboots they're trying to get off the ground right now. The one about Babylon 5 was really interesting. I found that to be very interesting to see how they would do that. But they're talking about a complete reboot. What's his name? Eichel. He's talking about a complete reboot. The same exact from start to finish, but different characters and maybe changing a few things and the way the series was done originally. I was like, wow. I always hate when they use the changing words, man, because you never know what's going to come out of it. It might go woke or go broke, man. No, we got to go, guys. No, Michael's on. Yeah, we're in Michael's airtime. Michelle's going to come over here and whoop his ass if we don't get out of here. She's mad at them Americans right now, you know. She's a big Canadian girl. Yeah, she's like 6'9", 285.
Oh, shut up, Joe. Come on.
She's a big girl, man. I wouldn't mess with her. She'd just kick your ass. Oh, you mean Amelia? No, Amelia's like the little mushroom she uses to carry stuff around with. You never seen a mushroom just shuts things on and they move around, follow their master. No,
I love them both, man. Let me tell you.
I do too. They're fabulous.
Michelle was one of the only people that Michelle and Amelia reached out to me and say, "Hey, are you okay?" You did too, Joe, to a lesser degree. but it was like, "Hey, are you okay? Are you alive? Are you doing all right?" Like, it's tough, man. You know, when you have that loss.
It's tough.
And now, you know, and we all experienced it kind of now, you know what I mean? So it's kind of, we're all contemporaries and we're losing our parents.
It's hard. I mean, unfortunately for me, I started losing people at a very young age. So I kind of got a little number to it that most people should. But
well, you had to stop shooting people, Joe.
You get angry sometimes,
what
man.
Did you expect?
Besides, there did come a point that my alligator in my backyard was getting.
If I could have, I would have, man.
I mean, that alligator got so fat, man. I had to.
This guy offered to sell me at 38 when I was 11 years old. And I should have bought it. Oh, the things we regret.
Yes, no, you'd be in prison now, so you'd still be in prison.
No way, they wouldn't have caught me. 11-year-old kid, they would have given me the
11-year-old kid with 38. No, you wouldn't have gotten caught.
11 years old. I'm not saying to anybody out there that if you're 11, whatever, man. I'm saying.
And Michael was probably 6 foot at 11.
At
They're
that
probably
time,
anyway, we got to get out of here,
I
guys.
could have settled
All right.
a few things.
We got to go. I'm going to find some kind of food. Oh no, there is.
I'm
food.
going to bed.
Yeah, I'm gonna head to bed too.
Sean's going to bed. Jay's got to
Think
rotate the
about
baby.
how many abused kids out there turn to violence and turn to that because they had nowhere else to go, man. I mean, it's crazy, isn't it? That people have to.
Oh wait, where's the mid dad? No, mid dad, you got to rotate the baby before Jay leaves. The alien baby needs to be rotated. Jesus
Oh,
Christ.
you know what? Mid-dad here is going to bed. He's going
It's
away
like
for a
bacon
couple
chicken,
days.
man.
I'm going to the
Have a
mountains,
safe
the
trip,
hills of West Virginia.
Going to the mountain.
Don't turn into a
Whoa,
mushroom while
Virginia.
you're gone, man.
I'm going to the mountains. Michael, have a great show, dude.
Hey, thanks, man.
Yeah,
Relax up, my friend.
CJ,
Clear your brain out.
All right.
Try to clear your brain
I'll
out.
see you guys.
See you,
See you,
audience. I'll be back in 5 minutes.
Bye, guys. The click and the
Bye.
click and the lickety lickety lickety.